All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Meeting of the Minds podcast. Tonight I'm here with the upgrade, Caroline A. and Ray. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good, good.
Good, good.
Hey, sis.
I'm fabulous. Hey, bro. Ray. Hi, Gabriel.
I'm
Hey,
alive.
what's going on? All right, so tonight's topic is about double standards, and I want to get
Yes.
right into it. What is one double standard that you see commonly among men and women? And I'm giving this question to Ray. Go ahead, my brother.
And I want to start off with me. Um, okay, so one double standard that I see reoccurring is fat shaming. So we talk about listen, man, I'm going straight to it. Listen, we talk about Lizzo and how she's beautiful and she's a beautiful black queen. But then on the other hand, I see people making fun of Ari Spears saying, "Oh, he's shaped like a bowling pin. He's he's shaped like a pear. The man got raccoon eyes. What else? And all types of stuff. Or better yet, they use like Rick Ross, right? I saw this meme, I think a couple days ago, where Rick Ross was sitting in his living room, um, and he had his shirt off, and the meme said something like, "Oh, put a shirt on," and Lizzo was in the bed in the tub naked, and it said, "Oh, women's empowerment." So you see that there's a double standard with that. That's just one aspect of it.
Of course, all the time. I apologize. For some reason, my camera's not working. It was working like minutes before we started. That is a good point because the funny thing about Aries is that he made those comments, and I think he knew he was going to get a little bit of controversy behind it. But let's talk about it. Women like to shame men that are obese, overweight. You know what I mean? But when it comes to obese women, all of a sudden it's like, no, no, no. Every woman is beautiful, no matter what shape, no matter what size. You know, we never talk about this. I'm trying to think of the word because it's like body positivity. There we go. We often say like, yo, body positivity is the way, and that's what we need to do. But the thing is that body positivity might actually be killing someone who needs to get in shape. Now we know that Rihanna came out with the Fenty line for the bigger men and women and stuff, and so now it's pushing it like, okay, not only are we going to embrace men, I mean, not only are we going to embrace women, but we're going to embrace men as well. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being confident in yourself, but there's a problem when you tell somebody something and it offends them. It's like, yo, if I'm telling you something because I want you to be in good health, you take it as, oh, you're making fun of me or whatever, and you decide not to take what I say in love. And also it depends how I say it. But regardless, if I tell you something and I'm coming to you forthright and you get offended, that might end up affecting you in a negative way. Now you can't say that I didn't care from the first place, but now it's almost like, okay, um, there's nothing I could do. And then after that, that person deals with different health challenges. They're in and out of the hospital. You know what I mean? Like it's sad when I'm sometimes when I'm at work, I've seen customers with oxygen tanks. You know what I mean? So it's like we have to stop being afraid of telling people stuff like body positivity. It is good, nothing wrong with that. But if it's affecting your health and you're not working out, if you're not going towards the steps to work out or get a nutritionist, how does that help you? You know what I mean? All right. So now I want to hear from Caroline. What do you have to say on this topic?
I feel overall there's an obsession with how people look, um, especially women in the Caribbean community. People think that commenting on your weight is an appropriate way to greet you. Um, you can't even go through the changes in life without somebody telling you, "Oh my goodness, you gained weight." Or you put on weight. That's the first thing people look at or think about when you've gained a few pounds. I don't know. I think then there's no balance or middle ground between you need to have a healthy weight versus like why you so big. because people real sensitive about their weight, you know, male or female.
Right.
But
That's
then,
true.
so they get sensitive. Nobody wants to talk about the health effect. But then these people out here going under the knife. Listen, I don't feel like putting fat from this place to the next to like all these BBLs or whatever. Like people are legit flying to other countries, going to these, you know, unlicensed physicians and like getting doctored up and dying just to have like the perfect body. And I'm like, you know what? I'd rather be alive with a flat butt than to be dead looking like a seesaw in my casket. So I'm like, I don't know. But then like you have women who are like, oh hey Gabriel, look at you in your little shirt.
Go ahead, Gabe.
Who are like, don't talk about my body, don't talk about what I'm wearing. I'm wearing this for me. But then when you ask them what are they looking for in a partner, it's like, well, he got to be tall.
Right.
You got to be 6 feet tall.
Whatever, you
Exactly.
know.
You got to
I
be
just want
slim.
somebody taller than me.
Yeah.
You got
Like
to
if
have
we both
abs.
5'2.5", like
Uh-oh.
my child.
Wake it up.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Like if you want that same energy from a man, you have that energy for a man. Like how you just gonna get it? Not expect for it to come back. Like when those women post the pictures online and be like, "No, it's for the Lord. It's not for attention." But then again, like dudes will literally holler at you
Right.
with a nun outfit on. So it's like you could do everything right. You could dress right. You could do all of that. You could be in church with your best, most modest outfit on, and dude will be standing on your chest and be like, "Oh my bad, I was looking at your Bible." So like, I've had that happen.
That's a new one.
And it's like, and I look down and like my shirt is like in my neck. So it's like, what is it me or is it like?
No, it was you.
I don't know. You're right.
It was you.
Because you know the black community, you know, high cholesterol, diabetes,
Yes.
hypertension, all these diseases where everybody's trying to be like, you know, politically correct and not hurt people's feelings. But like, if you out here approaching like 600 pounds, like
That's a problem.
who feeding you?
And
Like
I hate
that's
that show.
No, it's body positivity, remember?
I hate that show.
now. I was almost 300 pounds a couple years ago. Like I went to an amusement park and they almost kicked me off the ride. After that, I was like, no, I need to be different.
Thank you for waking up. That's
I was
all
like, this
you
is
for.
not healthy. But at the same time, when somebody's like commenting on your weight immediately,
That's
not
different.
knowing that I had a health condition that I had to seek medical intervention for.
That's
Right.
different.
Like people aren't invested in your health journey a lot of times. They just want to know your business. They just want to make commentary.
Exactly.
They're not, you know, trying to help you do better. They're not trying to be an accountability partner.
Right.
They're not. Like all the herbs I had to buy, all the teas I had to buy, the food and change I had to make, all of that cost money, and people weren't readily invested in that. But then when you're talking about health and everything, like it's not just like, ooh, body positivity. For a lot of people, you know, social, political, social, economic, you know, food deserts, and you know, I got that social work background, so I'm looking into everything. But I definitely feel, you know, where Ray is coming from, where it's like body positivity on one hand can be very toxic if you let it just like jump off and neglect the fact that like health is wealth.
Right. Exactly. I totally agree with that. You know, and I remember, I had seen quite a few posts where you know you were talking about how people were, you know, commenting on your weight and stuff like that. And I'm sorry you had to go through that. Oftentimes we do that a lot, and especially in the Caribbean household, you know,
It's ghetto.
yeah, it's like
if you're too big,
you're too big, you're putting on weight.
no. If you're too big, you're putting on weight. But if you're too small, there's something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Right.
Where do you want me to be?
You dead.
Exactly. But you know what's funny? In Africa, right? Men like their women curvy and thick, and
That's
so if a skinny girl comes along, it's like, who are you? Why? Like, it's not the norm. I don't know if you remember, but Monique did a movie years ago called Fat Girls, where she was going to Africa, and you know how Monique feels about them skinny women. You seen it in a stand-up special.
I hate the bitches.
I hate the skinny bitches.
Yeah. But like around,
but now she's trying to lose the weight.
Yeah, I mean, around certain
Awesome.
parts of the world, it's something that's acceptable. But here in the U.S., is a totally different thing. And in terms of the BBLs getting all this plastic surgery, like there are women that have died from having cement put in their posterior. I'm like, how did you not know that the same cement that's used to build the house, like you're getting it injected or in their face? It's like, there's no need to alter yourself that much. And people say, yo, it's genetics why some women don't have shape back there. I really I find that hard to believe because it's like you can work out that area if you want to.
And
You know,
the white girls
Okay,
are doing it now.
nobody got time for that.
The white girls are doing it now.
I'm not them. I'm
The
not
white
Sarah and
that's
Susie. No.
Nah, we
Spanish
not
ones, the
doing
white
that.
ones, the Asian
Not
ones, they
doing
doing
that.
it now.
Listen.
We're not doing that. We not.
No,
doing
I'm finna tell y'all for me.
No,
The
I didn't
Lord
say I'm
knew
doing
what
it. I'm
I
just
could
saying they
handle,
doing it.
okay? And that wasn't one of them things, okay? In order for me to maintain my walk to heaven, he couldn't give me that asset. And I'm not finna pay nobody for it neither, because
Just do some
if
squats.
you don't have it, and I don't feel like doing squats, because when you do a whole bunch of squats, your legs get all wobbly, and I'm 30 now. My knee's different. I'm not doing all that extra.
The squat
For
before your
who?
feet.
Like,
Right.
for who?
10 times. For yourself.
I don't care for it.
Okay.
But hold on. If we're gonna be real honest though, like,
That's for me though.
if we're gonna be honest though, like a lot of men aren't really working out as they say they are either. Like we can't
Exactly.
put anything on women because like I see men be like, oh, I'm gonna get in the gym, I'm gonna get in shape. Man never touched a weight a day in his life.
But you see, the reason why that can happen? That's because women and men look at each other different. Women are visual. I'm sorry, men are visual. Men are visual creatures. Right? Let's go back to the Bible if you want to get there. Okay? Adam and Eve. I don't think that God sat there and made himself in the image, might be an asshole for this, in an image of Lizzo and Rick Ross. Right? So if he didn't make his image and the image of Rick Ross and Lizzo, then that's not really the norm. So now it becomes, okay, let's come back to the fact that men again are visual. Men see visual things. Now, mind you, we like curvy, thick women, but then there's a difference of thick and then fat. And then on both sides, because for men, you have women who sit there and you might hear the whole, oh, I want a real tall guy. Yeah, he could be tall, but he could be tall and he could be fluffy. That fluffy for her also means that he's protective, like a teddy bear. That's my little teddy bear. Even though he should be a grizzly bear, he's a teddy bear, you know? And so you hear women say, oh, I take a guy with a little pudge, because that pudge is not over excessive to the point where now he can't even see his own thing. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're talking about men and women, and we're talking about body shaming, the sad reality is that a lot of people, when they're talking about it, they should just straight out just say health. Because when you say health first, it kind of eliminates all other feelings of what you assume that I'm saying about you being fat. And it's more like, no, literally, you're unhealthy. It's just unhealthy. If you're trying to walk up the stairs like I was 260 at one point, close to 270. I lost good almost 100 pounds right now. I'm at 185.
And I didn't even notice until he told.
Appreciate it. So, but when I was big, I got shamed from my family. I got looked at different from females. When I lost the weight, the heavens of the legs opened. So, but then the crazy part is that now we're at a point where we're allowing somebody like Lizzo to say that that's normal, and it's not normal when you're unhealthy, and then your actions then put you on a bike trying to lose weight and doing a commercial. So you can't one day sit there and say, hey, this is okay, because then if you do that, you shouldn't lose any weight. You should be eating whatever you want, and we should all just do what we want, but we're not, because you're saying one thing and literally doing the total opposite. So it should just be focused on health. But the body shaming is because people can't even look at themselves and say, oh, well, like when you have women who are big or out of proportion sitting there saying, oh, I want a skinny guy. Well, why don't you just get what you got? Or, oh, well, somebody has to love me for me because I'm at my best. But if you're at your best right now at 400, that's an issue. You want me, and all you got to say is just say it. You want me to help you to lose the weight. That's fine. That's fine. We can work out together. But it's different when you have a lot of females. Like, there's plenty of females in the gym. I salute all those women in the gym. I'd rather holler at them any day than holler at a female with a BBL. Now, if you got your body done, it is what it is. But those women are showing that they're healthy. There's a discipline that they're creating. Men see them in a different light. Ooh, she's working out. You know what? I'd rock with her. Look at most of the men who are in relationships with women and they work out together. Their relationships last longer.
That's right.
But when you have somebody
the environment that we living in, especially in the United States, does not cater to a lifestyle that is healthy and stress free. Because you can do everything that you're supposed to do: eat right, work out, exercise, everything. If you're stressed out and you do not have proper work life home balance, it's going to be difficult to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Men and women, I can talk about this because like I lived it. Okay, your hormones have a big part to play in how you manage stress. Your reproductive system does a whole lot for how you lose weight, how you maintain your weight, metabolism,
but then men and women,
weight retention,
men and women are different.
Water retention.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to the doctor often. We're bouncing from job to job. We're stressed out. We're not managing our stress. We have multiple nutritional deficiencies.
Food deserts.
So, but now here's the difference. You ready?
So for me, it was like going to the doctor, getting my blood work done. The doctor's like, okay, well, you have this diagnosis, but like, here's a Band-Aid for it. But I had to do my research to figure out like how to heal myself. And so for me, like I healed myself. I was almost 300 pounds. I lost like 80 pounds, had a baby. So that for me, like put me like close to not all the way back to square one because I'm at my pre-pregnancy weight, but it's like I'm having some of the same difficulties I had prior to my baby getting here. So it's like I have to do the work all over again. So health in America costs money.
Right.
You know,
so by the way, I'm the plug.
It's not just like people are overweight, they don't want to do nothing about it. If you don't have time to work out, if you can't afford healthy food, it's a lot. I try to look at it the bigger picture. Of course, there's people out here who's just fat, lazy, and uncomfortable. Like, that's true. They're complacent in life. They're not going anywhere. They're not doing anything. Yeah, there are those people, but then there are those people who don't have the access or the education or the information, or they're like suffering in pain, and like they go to the doctor, they don't have answers. You have an ache or pain. You know, let's talk about men, especially black men, don't want to go to the doctor. You know, I'm in the house cleaning up, and I found my blood work from 2018, and I was like, why was your cholesterol that high in 2018? You know, 2018 I was like 26. Why was it like that? But in my head, it was just like I had become so accustomed to being overweight and sad and like overeating, eating late, soda. That was my best friend, comfort food, all of that. But now that I'm different, I can go on an airplane. I don't have to go on an airplane and the seat buckle won't buckle, and you just gotta have to like pull your hoodie down so the flight, yes ma'am, I'm here. The whole flight, you like, Lord, don't let it be today. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it won't buckle. Like going to Six Flags in New Jersey, my husband got kicked off the ride, and they at the front, because at that time they had El Toro went from a wooden ride to all metal. So now they got the thing at the front, like I guess green, yellow, red, to tell you like if the metal hatch won't close. Mine up at the front, they pointing at me. Everybody in the line on the ride looking at me, being fat on the ride, can't fit. Like that was like encouragement. But I had the resources, and I had to like, you know, get my life together. And I also had to address my depression. So us as Black folk, if we're chronically under stress, you can do your best to like get healthy. But cortisol, which is the stress hormone, will impede that weight loss. Let me get off my soapbox. It's so many different things. And then
I get you.
Society is obsessed with perfection, but we won't address
the issues, the roots.
Of course, I got one thing to say. You mentioned something about hormones playing a role in, you know, stress and how your body reacts to certain things, right? There's something I'm trying to think of the name. It's when women happen to grow like facial hair. What is the proper name for ovarian?
Oh, polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Yes, that. Yes.
Oh, she just spit that out.
Yes,
that's what I have. but
Picos, I think it's called, right?
I remember there was a woman that went on the Doctors, right? It's a popular talk show, and she said that it was so bad that people were questioning whether or not she was a man or a woman. You know,
she had
so
a full beard.
not a full beard, but the thing was like,
She had the stubble
yeah,
Okay.
like, but it could get as thick as that. She was shaving, but it would grow back so
quickly.
quick. You know what I mean? And sometimes, you know, like the doctor said, okay, well, we'll see if we can get you some help. But nobody mentioned, you know, stress might play a factor in that, or just certain ways that your body reacts to it. Because there's some girls that they start getting that from 13, 14 years old. Some of them shave it off, and then some of them get to a point where they're like, nah, you know what? I want the Fat Joe, I want the Rick Ross, and they keep it. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen those, and I'm like, geez, you know what I mean? Like I would think that for somebody that has to be somewhat of a prison, because you can't really be the way that you want, because every time that you try to, it just keeps on growing back faster and faster. But
Yeah.
that's all I want to
That's
say.
that high testosterone. But every person, regardless of the chromosome at the end of their DNA, has estrogen and testosterone in their body, right? Estrogen is supposed to be capped at a certain point in men, right? So that you don't start retaining more water, right? Experiencing more emotional bouts than normal. So like your normal emotional state will be altered once your estrogen levels rise, because your dominant hormone is supposed to be what? Testosterone. In a woman, you have a delicate balance between estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Right? So testosterone is like some of the hormones that like help you at work, do around the house, build muscle in a woman. But the estrogen and progesterone, those are like the nurturing, building a baby, maintaining your figure. So when you're talking, that's why, you know, in terms of like feminine and masculine energy, I'm telling people like, if you have too much testosterone in your body, you're going to exhibit more masculine traits, because that is the manly hormone.
Right.
The environment is overloaded with estrogen.
Of course.
So in your water, your lotion, your food, the air. If you're not detoxing properly, all of the estrogen and testosterone goes crazy, and progesterone, that balancing, nurturing, hello, calm down hormone, drops. Right. So you can do all you can, therapy, everything. If you don't address your hormones, which is the foundation, everything goes crazy.
Right. So when it goes, besides masculine and feminine energy, because it does go to hormones too, and it goes to testosterone and it goes to estrogen. And you are right when it talks about environment. By the way, I am the plug. 3% weekly for
Detox tea.
No. We're talking about money first, because that's something that she had addressed, which is one of the main factors. Right. And I was just doing a video on the business that I'm in, and it was like I was putting a little clip about the 20 things that the middle class can't afford anymore.
Right.
Healthy foods. And so it got to the point where you're walking around certain neighborhoods, or you're driving through certain neighborhoods, and you just see every fast food neighborhood or every fast food restaurant, and then you go to the supermarket, and a bag of salad costs the same as the meal. Exactly. But you know that you get satisfied with the meal as opposed to the salad. Right. One thing that we need to do as a solution is start to fast more. Bible talks about it. We just don't know how to do it. I've become more of a stoic person, where I've been uncomfortable on purpose, so that when things actually happen, I'm prepared. So a lot of the weight loss wasn't just, it was me intermittent fasting.
I've heard of that.
So intermittent fasting is pretty much just eating at certain hours of the day. So instead of eating all day, I only eat 10 hours a day, and the rest of the 14, I'm either drinking water or drinking coffee.
Right.
In there is exercise in between there, some there. But one of the things that we do need to focus on is eating healthy. The next thing is in our environment. Right now in our society, the reason why a lot of women are complaining about what's going on is because they are literally off balance. You are literally working in a man's field.
Right.
Men are able to deal with the stresses, and you said it, Caroline, very well. Men are able to deal because we have testosterone. We are able to deal with stresses differently than women are. We are built for that. But when men have too much estrogen,
Mm.
that's when they don't know what to do. That's when you see the rise, and it's been going on for years. And I'm going to address it, talking about black suicide in men. We are the minority, and we're still the majority of the ones who are killing ourselves. Because at the end of the day, it becomes the environment, and it also becomes what you eat. It also becomes depression. All that comes in, and you still have to deal with life at the same time. And there's there's a I'm so glad that we have movies and TV now, where I'm able to watch movies and I analyze movies. I don't just watch for entertainment anymore. I watch the characteristics of both men and women. I watch the men who are by themselves alone, like Rambo. Leave me alone, by myself. But at the end of the day, he will literally sacrifice his life for one person. That's man. But at the end of the day, we're in an environment where women are being stressed out as men are being stressed out. And you see men thriving and just going through it and just like, all right, because when you look at business, business equals busyness. Busyness is the busyness is the equivalent of anxiety. Every business that is running right now is anxiety. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So, and when you notice, most of the people who are in the businesses, who run the businesses, those are men. So in that environment, they thrive because it's good. In my environment right now, I'm a supervisor. I'm stressed out all the damn time, but I love it. That's what thrives me. But to women, it's opposite. You know how many women come to work? Why am I here? I don't. Oh, I ain't doing this today. Oh, I ain't come to work today. But not all women. I'm not saying no.
That's me.
Oh, okay, got it. All right, all right. Thank you, Caroline. This is why
Yeah.
I love you so much, because you always keep it funky. All these other women be like, nah, it ain't me lying. It ain't women. You be like, nope, it's just me. It's me. But so the next thing is also with money, right? The sad reality is that we're living in a society where the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, and the middle class is about to become extinct.
Mm.
Legit. Russia and
Okay.
China decided to not back the dollar anymore and back their own money. That affects all of us because it also affects our health. It also affects how we body shame. Why? Because if you go to other countries like Africa, yeah, the women might be big, but they're eating healthy.
Mm.
They're eating the food from the land. So
Oof.
if they're big off the food from the land, and they're not. If they go to a doctor, they're not considerably unhealthy. Where here we are literally putting in things that are literally killing us. And then when somebody goes and says, "Hey, well, look, you're big." Oh, nah, but you calling me fat, and I'm like, but if I go and I say, "Hey, listen, you're unhealthy," that might calm down your level. It shouldn't even be that way. It should be to the point that if you are big and you don't like it personally, then change it. If you do and you're fine, then okay. But if you don't change it, because again, somebody like Lizzo is a perfect example of body shaming, where she'll sit there and you can't say nothing about her, but she goes after skinny guys. You can't say anything about her, but yet she's literally on weight loss diets right now.
Mm. Preach.
So when you talk about Monique, and Monique talk about, oh, look at these skinny bitches, she hated them for a while until she realized no man wanted to keep her. She realized she realized that she was upset, she was angry, she was aggravated. As soon as she started losing weight, she got her man. Regardless of what her man is going through right now, she got her man. And not only did she get her man, she's getting her life together. You hear some of her times where she's now going through self-reflective moments, because when you start shedding, you start realizing a different you.
Exactly.
I had a friend who he was about maybe close to 400 pounds. His wife had 2 kids. She was close to like 300, 400 pounds. But she had gotten bigger over the years. regardless of the kids before. So one day I'm talking to him, and this is when I was doing the whole weight loss and the TLC. And I said, bro, let me ask you a question. I said, what would you, what would, what would you think if your wife looked like Selma Hayek? First thing he said, I love my wife for how she treats me, how she cares about me, what she does for me. So I said, exactly. You said nothing about how she looks.
That's a
Nothing.
problem. That's a problem.
What would you do if your wife looked like Selma Hayek? Oh, I'd worship the ground she worked on. Okay. Now, what would you do if you looked like Derek Jeter? The body of Derek Jeter.
Wait,
I
but
never thought about that.
hold on though. Um,
Go ahead,
so
Ray.
what you should have asked is she paying all of the bills? Because there's a fine. No, I'm being serious. There's a
Go ahead,
fine
go ahead.
line in that. There's a fine line in that because a lot of times, if a woman is paying all the bills, a man is not going to disrespect her in that matter. No matter
Oh no,
if
so here was the weird part. Here was the weird part. She was at the time that we were talking, they were living in an apartment. They had moved out into her parents' house to
see,
now save up money.
see,
So what you're actually saying actually happened where there was nothing that he could say. So then I said, that's where then the Derek Jeter part came in. So what if you upgraded yourself? What would your wife have to go do if she noticed that other women are now talking to you? She'd have to get herself together.
but see,
Because
go
now
ahead.
if other people are interested and she knows you as a man, not you as her husband, you as a natural man, right? So we have women who sit there and say, it's okay to look. Women say that. It's okay to look. Now, if I go and I try to talk to the female while I'm with my girl or I try to go holler, that's a different story. But we are natural lookers. I got you off of looking. I got you off of looking. So if we're gonna be healthy, let's do this thing together. But he had to be the leader in that because the more he started gaining, the more she just let herself go, and the more he continued to let himself go. But then we're on the phone and he's complaining. But I'm like, you can't complain when you're the leader in the family, regardless of where you're at. You're the leader. So if you want this to be where it's supposed to go ahead and do it. I'll give you a personal example, and then I got to Ray. My ex and I, my ex-wife and I, when we first met, I wasn't that big. I'm not gonna say she was that big. She was thick. We ended up losing weight together. At one point, I was 175. She was even smaller. That was our first wedding. After our child, we both had gained weight. Pregnancy weight is real for men. I had gained about 260 pounds, close to 270. I was playing ball at school because I was a teacher. I literally tore my kneecap because I was too big and I wasn't working out. So now I'm 185. I'm still working on my knee, but the pain is still there and everything. And that was due to because I had gained the weight. I never worked out with it. I never did anything with it. I was just like, all right, let me just go with it. Now, mind you, should I have? And at one point in the beginning of the relationship, we did. I was the one that suggested the working out. We did it the first time. The second time we did it, I said, hey, let's work out together. I don't know. She started going to the gym. I started working out at home. That's when you knew the divide was there.
Wow.
Because at the gym, any man can look at you. Any man could talk to you. If we're together, we're together. So, and then I had to be real sensitive because that was my ex-wife. She just had my child. I wasn't gonna sit there and say you fat or you big. That was crazy. You literally just had my child. But at the same time, I saw that she was going through something. So I was like, hey, either let's work out together or go work out. So that not only can you be healthy, but that also, and healthy wasn't just weight. Healthy was also depression. Postpartum, because when you're working out, that working out also helps with your depression. And so a lot of people don't understand that even in the midst of you being overweight, you even working out for 15 minutes and going to go take a walk or going to do some squats or going to go do some wall push-ups at work, that right there makes a whole hell of a difference. But again, when we're talking about estrogen and we're talking about testosterone, we handle stress differently. So men can lose weight off of stress, where women can gain weight off of stress. Men will lose weight. We won't eat. We won't do nothing. But mind you, we're gonna sit there and we're gonna work. Women, they'll work. They might complain a little bit while working too, but they'll work. But what they're gonna do, they're gonna come home, they're gonna eat, they're gonna stress eat. They're they're gonna when you go and you drink your wine, you go drink your liquor, you forget that there's calories in there. So you
But
go
it
to
tastes
certain
delicious.
places, you go.
Okay,
So all these things are
I
a
got a
factor.
question.
Go
It's
ahead,
not
bro.
just calories in the wine; it's sugar. Wine has a lot of sugar in it.
Oh, sugar too. My bad. I totally forgot.
But
I
I
love
got
you,
a
boo.
question though. Like, let me be a modern woman
Calories
for
and
2 seconds.
sugar. Sugar's the most. Sugar's
A
the
modern
killer.
It's
woman.
white
Oh
egg, right? But let
God.
me be a
Sugar right
modern
there.
woman for a minute.
Oh
Like,
God. Here we go.
why do I have to change anything about me to get a man? Like, I'm the prize. There is somebody out there who's
No,
going
wait,
to
wait,
love
wait,
me
wait.
for me.
Like no.
So
Let her,
Caroline,
let
you
her
are
rock.
the
No,
only female on here. You are
because
about
this
to
Let
is
her
lose
rock.
this
in a
conversation
Let her
minute.
right
rock.
now.
Like,
Let
why
her
do
Let's
I
rock.
have
take
to
this
change
puff because
anything
Please,
about me
no,
when
no.
there's somebody
you
out
just started
there
something.
who's going
Please,
to love
let
me
her
for
rock.
me?
Let her
We can
rock.
get that together.
Let
Like,
her rock. Let
I
her
am.
rock.
I am.
Oh,
I am.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I
Let
am.
her
I
rock.
am. I am. No. I know she was. I know she was going
Let her rock. Listen,
Go ahead,
I
Caroline.
wanna
Go
hear
ahead.
it. Go ahead. You have the floor.
Why? So
no,
so
I
so
just
the
want to
question
know,
is,
right? Like,
why do
why
you
do
have
I
to
have to do
change?
extra and work out and do all of that and squats and make my butt bigger and
Okay. So
my titties, higher? Like, gravity, it happens. So, like, what?
so the same way that you would have to go work out is the same way I need to go get a job and make sure that you're protected and financially safe.
You supposed to get a job so you can eat.
You are too.
Come
But I
on.
have a job so I can eat. I just
Right.
eat more
So
than you
watch
do.
this.
What?
Watch this though. We're both eating, right?
Right. You
But I
supposed to
can bag
work.
a I,
And
I
you're
can
an
bag a
adult.
chick.
You're an
I
adult.
can
You're
bag a chick
supposed to
off
work.
of I can bag a female whether I'm skinny or whether I'm big. A female, if she's big and she doesn't look a certain way and she's eating whatever she's eating and she's putting it on her line, what dude's gonna sit there and be like, oh, I want to be with that female that's sitting there eating?
A lot.
You know
You're
what?
looking
I
like
can go down to the store and get a bob, and there's a sperm bank over there, so I can have a baby. So why do I need to put all that effort to make you?
right.
What
So
if I
now
don't
watch
care
this
about your
though.
opinion,
So now you can
God,
go. You
Greg?
can go
What
to
if
the
your
sperm
opinion is
bank.
just
You
you
can
and
go
me?
to the
I
sperm
love this.
bank.
I love this.
You
Yes.
can go to the sperm bank, but the
Mm-hmm.
sperm was also provided by a man.
But he
So
don't know what I look like. There's a
it doesn't
binder.
matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You had to go get a sperm from a man. So
Yes.
whether you were desperate enough, so there was no man on this planet that wanted to impregnate you, that you had to go
I can't agree
to a
with that.
sperm bank where you don't
No,
even
I don't.
know the
What
DNA of
if
the person.
no?
And be
What
like,
if the man I'm with is infertile? What
I
is he
can't
talking about?
agree with that. I can't agree with that. Hold on. I can't agree with that.
now
Here's
that's not
why.
all women though. I'm not going to
Here's
say
why.
all people.
Here's
I'm not
why.
going
I
to say all
can't
women. I'm
agree
just
with
going
that.
to say partial. I'm
Hold
not
on.
going to say all.
No, I know. Here's why. Here's why I can't agree with it.
Go ahead,
Go
man.
ahead.
Because technically speaking, right, the man first had no options of getting anybody pregnant, right? There's an article that I've seen that says the rise of single men in the United States, right, where it says like,
Mm-mm. 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 Don't. No.
I'm going there.
No.
I'm going there.
I'm gonna let you finish though. I'm gonna let you finish.
No. I'm going there, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm going there, right? The reason why the manosphere exists, right? The reason why men going their own way exists. The reason why red pill exists, right? Not because they want to upgrade their life, is because of what a woman did to them, right? A woman hurt me. A woman scorned me. A woman took my money. A woman took my baby. None of this stuff exists because of upgrading, right?
Okay.
So
So
no, wait.
go ahead.
Let me rock, right? To Caroline's point, right? You said upgrade that. Oh, because she was big or whatever. Just the example, not real life. Because she was big or whatever, no man wanted to impregnate her. That's not true. Why do you think they got something called tax season dudes, right? Who go after big women during tax season, impregnate them, live with them, eat off of them, take their money and their car.
Big women have babies
because
all
you
the
don't
time.
cheat on big women. Big women will take care of you.
Taxi.
Big women will take care of you. Skinny
Big
women
women
won't.
have babies all the time, so you may not be marrying her,
Hold on.
but you.
But marriage
That's true.
doesn't
Cold
mean
outside.
wait, hold on,
It is cold outside.
wait. There are more desperate men than desperate women, and I'm standing on that claim. I'm standing on that claim. I've been in Facebook groups where desperate.
Okay, you know what? I can agree.
That's the Kevin Samuels group, right?
Not even Kevin Samuels group.
Not
Forget
Kevin
his
Samuels
group.
group.
Forget his group. I've been in
That's
Facebook groups where women that look like booger wolves have men, literal men.
Yeah, that's
he said
disrespectful,
booger wolf. What is a booger wolf?
Caroline. Oh my God, yeah, that's disrespectful, bro.
They look
No,
like,
it's not.
listen,
No, it's not.
wait, listen. I'm going somewhere with this, right?
Go ahead.
Women that look like booger wolves, right? Literal booger wolves. They'll be like, oh, I had this man and that man. I've been in a BBW group, right? Where they're literally men, old, young, middle, etc., are willing to sniff the dirty draws off of some of these women.
Hey, whoa,
Right. So,
buddy.
so now understand this. You ready?
Go ahead.
Remember our nature as men, right? Not you thinking of.
But you're proving her point.
Right. Listen, I'm
listening,
not going to go against. I'm not going against Caroline.
I know. I'm just saying you're proving the point. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not going to go against Caroline. So you see, in our nature is different from how we then experience and how we think. You see, our nature, a man will fuck a whale. We'll fuck a whale, okay? We'll fuck a whale. We'll live with her. In the wintertime, it's really warm. Really warm. But guess what? Watch this. Watch this, though. Watch this. Here's what you're missing. A lot of those men who end up in those relationships where they end up with those women and those women are sitting there and they're helping them upgrade or whatever themselves and those men are leeching off of them. A lot of those men, they're asking the women and saying, hey, let's work out or let's do some things. When she says no, okay, I see where you are. I see where this game is. I'm just going to take what I'm going to go take. When there's a woman who sits there and says, let's say she's big or whatever, she sits there and the guy comes and the guy's, living with her, whatever, and he's like, you know what? He's literally trying to upgrade her and she sees that. What she's going to do is she's going to literally go for what he's doing. You know what? You're going to see her upgrade herself. And when she upgrades herself and he upgrades himself, he's not going to leave her. Why would he leave her when she was on the bottom with him? It's only when he's moving up, she's going to stay right here thinking, oh, well, I can just be me. If I'm upgrading myself literally, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and you want to stay right here, of course I'm going to leave you. Of course I'm going to go. All those women, I'm not going to say all. I'm not going to even say most. Half of those women in there are bitter. Why? Because they never decided to upgrade themselves when that man was sitting there projecting and moving forward, and he was sitting there like, oh, let's come with me. Nah, I don't want to go do that. You know what? Let me just stay right here. I'm now going to play what you're playing. I'm going to play what you're playing. If you don't want to go up here, I'm going to stay where I'm at. I'm going to be comfortable where I'm at. I'm going to do what I'm going to go do. And when I'm out, I'm going to be out. Because at the same time, if you see me going somewhere and you're not on my trajectory and you want to stay here and not move anywhere, so I have to upgrade myself, but you're not going to upgrade? That's the reason why a lot of these women are sitting there, oh, all these men be leaving me because I sat there and I helped them. I built him up. Well, that's the wrong thing. You shouldn't build up a man. You shouldn't build a man. You should help him build himself up. That's a difference. So a lot of these women are building up men like mothers.
That is simp stuff.
What did you say?
No, listen. I know it's simp stuff. I know it's simp stuff. Listen. I talk about simps all day. I know it's simp stuff. But here's the thing. Who is allowing it? The women are.
The men are.
Stop.
No.
If the man is already a simp.
Listen.
Stop. Watch this.
Go ahead.
Watch this.
I'm gonna let you
So
know.
the man was raised. Let's use numbers. Most of let's be specific. Let's go to black. We're all black. We're all brown on here, not black. We're all brown on here. You have a black shirt on. So most of melanated people in America are raised by single parents, right? Single parents meaning mom. So when meaning mom, that boy is watching mom in her feminine all the time. When she's upset, when she's stressed, she cries, he's going to start crying. So now you can't then expect a boy when he has now been trained all these years, now he becomes a grown boy, that now he meets a woman and then afraid to just change like that, right? So in essence, when this female, and then the sad reality is females are being retarded by projecting and saying what they want from a man. If that man is what he is, he should already be doing it. Oh, I want a man who's he communicates and he listens and he's sensitive. You know what he's gonna do? That simp ass dude is gonna take all of that stuff and he's gonna use it against you for the first 3, 4, 6, 5, 8 months, whatever he's gonna use it for, to get all he gets from you, and then you complain later on when the dude leaves and he upgrades himself from simp, because yes, you are right. A lot of that red pill. See, I don't address red pill. Do I understand the logic of what's going on? Yes. I don't address red pill. Why? Because it wasn't the fact that I was hurt by any women.
What is red pill, by the way? If you don't mind me asking.
Go ahead, Ray.
Red pill essentially is waking up from Western ideology, right? So
between men and women.
From women pretty much. So if I can put it in a totality type of situation, basically it's what you see from like Fresh and Fit, from part of Kevin Samuels and all these guys, right? They have this thing called red pill rage, where like a lot of guys, they finally understand the truth, as what they call it, about women, and then they get enraged, and anytime a woman has an opinion or anytime there's something about a woman, they're ready to go all the way in, right? I've known about this stuff for the last like 10 plus years, but it wasn't called red pill until like 2017, 2018. It was called something else.
It was called something totally different.
They used to call those guys like incels, like involuntary celibate people, right? Those are the guys where people used to make fun of. Oh, you can't get no women. Oh, no women likes you. That's why you.
These are the gamers,
right? And all that other type of stuff.
So. Call of Duty type stuff.
Yeah. The dudes that sit at home. The sad reality is you see them every day. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know what? Let's go to Spider-Man with Jamie Foxx.
Okay, go ahead.
When Jamie Foxx was, I don't know, he was the electric guy. I forgot the character's name. Jamie Foxx, before he became the villain, who he was, that's the guy we're talking about. The guy that nobody sees in the street. The incel. So, in reality, those men exist. In reality, they exist. So, the sad part is that with red pill, they're so full of rage where they won't allow fact is fact, but then it's like they'll throw opinion and crazy opinions about women out there to the point that they hate women. Those are the incels, right? And the sad reality is they even throw some of the red pill where they say they hate women. Me, I don't hate women. I love women. I have daughters. I was raised by women. The reality is, though, is that I've understood through psychology, because I have a degree in psychology. I've understood through learning through various sources, and I'm talking about psychological sources, the difference between men and women. And once I've learned the hormones and the differences and the attitudes and the behaviors, then I understood why red pill said what they said. But I'm here for the solution of, okay, there need to be more fathers in the home or fathers active. Because regardless of what the father does, that son needs to see it. That daughter needs to see it so they can say whether they're going to be that person or they're not. And that's up to them. So the sad reality is that you have a lot of, when you have a lot of men now talking about issues that deal with them, and it's quote unquote sounds like red pill, they'll get canceled. The latest one, Andrew Tate. He was just talking about what men wanted. Just what men wanted. I literally posted it up on my TikTok. I got 10,000 views. It literally got blocked.
He just always seems angry when he talks. But
I mean, to be fair,
but you see, but the reason why he's there now is because when you watch all of his other conversations, he's calm talking about stuff. Yeah. The reason why he's talking this way now is because people are trying to cancel him for talking about what men are going through. Men are killing themselves every day.
That's true.
So he's at a point, like I'm at a point where enough is enough. Why are we not talking about men issues? Why can't a man sit there and say that he wants a woman with a nice body?
Right.
Why? Why can't I sit there and say I want a woman with a nice body? Because at 20 years old, when you had that body, it was okay. At 30, you had that body, it was okay.
As I exist in some of these spaces and engage in conversation with men and women, I am trying to find the disconnect. Because as much as the upgrade, if you will, let's discuss with me about the differences between men and women. The differences between genders are in a point like a puzzle. Every piece is different, but when you put them together, they complement each other.
Right.
To make something bigger and beautiful.
Right.
If you keep harping on the differences, you're only going to create more separation. And half of the reasons why we're separated aren't even our doing.
But who's the one?
Because I'm not done the upgrade. You done got on your soapbox off mute, sir.
I was going to answer you. That's why. My bad.
Hey, let it rock.
No, it's not. I didn't ask the question. I'm saying that one side blaming the other side is going back and forth. When it comes time to having sex and creating a baby, there's responsibility for both parties.
Yes.
When it comes time to a relationship and building a home, there's responsibility for both. You know, and it's like everybody has these unrealistic expectations. Everybody wants a podcast. Everybody has a voice.
Right.
But at the end of the day, folks don't even know how to be kind. Don't even know how to have a conversation. Because if I can tell you that I want to wear what I want to wear because for years people have been making me feel responsible for your sexuality and making it seem like you cannot control your hormones and sexual preferences because you're a man and monogamy is not possible for you because you live in a sexually dominated society, that puts the responsibility back on me. When it's time to do the adult dance and make a baby, all that responsibility again comes back on me, right? So that's when I had those conversations with men. But then when I'm talking to women, it's just like, y'all tripping. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing my mom thing, my baby up, feeding him, doing the thing. I'm in my book club on Facebook. The lady is discussing why authors should not say that their fictional male characters moisturize themselves.
What?
She is saying that because she doesn't think those terms of language are synonymous with how men talk, they should just say they put lotion on. And I'm in a group like, what? But the thing is, I get turned around and called pick me, and I will never get chosen. But like,
wake it up.
The responsibility now in 2022 that now that men have gotten on their soapbox and all their feelings is out, and y'all making us aware of the depression rate and suicide, and y'all killing each other yourselves every day. Cool. I understand. I hear it. I'm advocating for y'all, texting, checking on y'all, whatever. But at the end of the day, just because y'all have made us aware of how you feel, it does not absolve you of your responsibility to do the right thing. You feel me? Because like, I got folk telling me that like men and women, oh, if my friend cheated, I'm not saying nothing. Well, you part of the problem.
Right.
Okay. If your friend, male or female, if you have a lady friend who has children and the dad of that children got full custody or whatever, and the woman is supposed to be paying child support and she's not, and you friends with them and you're not saying nothing, you're part of the problem.
Right.
If you got people problems and not like do anything about it, and folks just running around here, you know,
wake it up.
If the man is, if you want a man to pay all your bills, you shouldn't have to compromise on finding a man who's faithful. I don't care about none of the high value, your money is connected. I don't care about none of that. Because regardless of your money, I can't dare you cheat on me. That's it.
So then find a man who's
No. I shouldn't have to compromise between your money and your ability to be faithful. If I want a monogamous relationship, that's what I want.
So then find a man who's faithful.
No, Carlens. If I enter a relationship with the expectation that it's me and you, it's me and you.
So then find a man who's faithful. If
I
that
did.
man does
I
not
did, and I
want that,
told
then
him,
don't put that on that man.
no,
Wait,
no,
wait, wait.
no,
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 let it
it's
rock.
not,
Let it rock.
no.
Let it
No,
rock.
see,
Let it
the
rock.
thing is, Carlens, when he met me and we started dating, he had an understanding that I do monogamy. If you no longer want that, or if you want to be in the streets, I'm gonna leave you there.
Right. So then, what do you choose to do? He chose to marry you.
You grown. You grown to your job. You grown enough to be out here slinging dick everywhere. And nobody forcing you to be monogamous. You don't want to be monogamous, then don't.
But why are you for? But you're saying that you're for.
No. I'm not forcing you to do anything.
So then, at the end of the day, if a man chooses not to be monogamous,
sun up to sundown,
that's on him.
That I want for you to provide and be faithful. They are telling women out here that they have to I shouldn't have to compromise my health or my fertility for men to pay all the bills.
But that's those men. If you don't want to deal with those men, don't deal with them.
It's impossible for black men to be monogamous. And I'm out here like,
hold on, wait. Hold on. I noticed something though, right? When women say something about women, it's always we. When men say something about men, it's always that man or that group or that person.
True.
How come women always do it as a collective and we always do it as separate? But
Here's
then
why.
But when it's time to talk about like the good of men, men provide, men do this, etc., it's always we built the world or we did this.
Okay, so let's go to we. Right? We as men, right? Let's go to the Bible. Let's go to the Old Testament, where most of the men had multiple women. Let's go to David, because I did a study in college on David when I was in seminary. And I remember doing this study on David, and I remember reading the Bible, and this is in the Bible. This is after David had slept with Bathsheba, and he seen it, whatever, and Uriah came home, and he said to Uriah, "Hey, Uriah, I want you to go home. Go home." Nah, I ain't gonna go home. So then the next day he sleeps in front. You know what, Uriah? We're gonna put you in front of the wall. Uriah dies. So then they have a baby. Now, when Nathan comes, Nathan says to David, if somebody stole a goat, what would you do? Oh, you would have to pay him back 4 goats, and because you stole from a poor man, well, that's what you did. You stole from a poor man. He said, this is what Nathan said, God gave you your last king's wives. He would have gave you such and such, more and more. But what you did, you chose to go for a man's wife. A man's wife. Not the concubines that you had, a man's wife. Now let's skip to Paul, where Paul suggests to be with one person. Suggests. That's not a law. That's not a law that was given by God. It's suggested by Paul to be with one person. If you want to go be with that one person, God said, men, what are you supposed to do? Be fruitful and multiply. Right now, 1 out of 200 people are alive because of Genghis Khan and because he sat there and did what the Almighty said to go do.
Y'all can't even pay for one. What?
Pay attention. Listen, no. Here's why. No. Here's why. Now let's go to there. Let's go to the economics of because I just did a video on this.
What they got to do with me with monogamy and a monogamous partner?
Let's go to now. Let's go to now with economics. Many of the men, right, that work, right, that are doing the jobs that nobody else is going to do, they're not getting paid what they're supposed to be getting paid. So let's go to FedEx, because I worked at FedEx. I had to literally go back into the real world, and it was a rude awakening to see young men and old men, I'm talking about 60, 70 years old, walking into the factory making $15 an hour. But they loved to touch that package because they knew that package was going to be delivered to the person, and they felt like Santa Claus. Now, when I looked at all of the management, 23, 25, I'm like, what is going on? It's because the difference is that the millennials now, the younger people, they don't care about people and their feelings. They just want numbers. They don't care about how people feel. So what end up happening is that these people are sitting there stagnant. If there's 50 people on the floor and one manager, 49 people are going for the position that manager is not trying to leave, and your man is one of the 49, and you want him to be the manager, but he can't be because that manager is not going to leave and he has to now compete with the other 49. You see, you're asking if a man is going to go get supplemental income, that's different. Again, I'm the plug. But if he's working at the job, making what he makes, different from what women are making right now. Like, for instance, you see the flood of women running into nursing. Why? Because the medical profession is the highest paying profession in the country. So when women are nurses, and that's the highest paying profession, and they're looking for men and they can't find no men because everything else is under them, what are you looking for? Where you getting them? When you go into corporations, I work at Home Depot. I'm a supervisor now. But as a supervisor, I had to realize these supervisors ain't trying to leave their positions. They trying to stay there. So if I'm an associate and I'm trying to move to supervisor and I'm trying to move up and I can't because these people are going to stay in their positions, I have to now stay here and not try to make supplemental income somewhere else.
Nah,
this is the society we live in.
I'm gonna cut your whole spiel.
Okay, I'm
trying to figure out.
Go ahead.
What does all of that have to do
with monogamy?
With me wanting
because
monogamy.
you said finances and you said monogamy.
No,
that's what you
said. If you want to have the pick of the litter and sling slong from here, there, and everywhere, from New York to King Kong, that's your choice.
Yes.
But I also have the choice to want the monogamy as well.
Yes.
So if you don't want to be monogamy, don't agree to a monogamous relationship and then cheat, because you know what? I don't look good in orange, but baby, I'll put a flower in my hair that match it too.
But at that point, you're dealing with men who are not. You're dealing with men who are not real with you.
The amount of men in the world compared to the amount of women.
Those are those simp men. They are not being real with you.
This fabulous,
those are the simps who are not being real with you.
Have sex like big from chandelier.
Wait.
Catch the attraction of one man.
Those are the simps.
Who's has captured the attention of all these women.
You know what's funny?
I was never in that running. Never. I went and found me a pastor. I'm not in the running for all of that. And you know what? I'm good on it. I'm not. Listen here. I don't know what conversations y'all having with women. I don't know what y'all talking about with y'all guy friends. I'm not begging anybody to stay in a place they don't want to be. I'm not begging anybody to respect my health, my fertility, and my peace of mind. I'm not begging you to do any of that. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I'm not begging you to do any of that. I don't care what the Bible says. I don't care what they was doing with it. And I don't care about that either. It's a social construct that at this point in my life, I enjoy. That's it. I'm trying to figure out, like, y'all keep trying to explain to women why they shouldn't want monogamy and why they shouldn't have a partner who is on the same level as, wanting their same financial goals and to be faithful at the same time.
But you'll be
community peeing on your own time. If it's virginity is a social construct too, which I want a woman with the lowest body count. It's a social construct.
No, that's not a social contract. That is not a social contract. That is biblical.
No, it's a social construct. Okay, I'm not, Carlens, I'm not doing this with you. Okay, I shouldn't have to beg you.
So you mean to tell me?
I shouldn't have to beg you.
You mean to tell me?
If you don't want what I want, you are free to leave.
Wait. Let her rock. Go ahead, Carl.
I don't. You see, men. What I'm seeing is men entering relationships, entering marriage, having an understanding of what the woman wants, what she requires to be kept. And once he attains whatever his goal is, he's no longer in the mindset of maintaining what he has attained. And that for me is a problem. I'm not
but I said that though. No, but I said, can I go back to that though? But I said that though, right? Let me go back to that. Because I said that though. Let's go back to the fact that, let's say that man, right? Let's say that man is sitting there, he's single, right? So he's sitting there weighing out all those options, trying to see who's who. So he's sitting there telling these women and saying, hey, this is what I desire, just like you desire things from me. So I'm going to go do the things that you want from me. I require these things from you. Let's say this female decides not to go do that thing. He has two options. He can either leave her alone from there, or he could choose to still rock with her. But at one point in time, if she's not rocking the same way he's rocking, he's gonna go and she's gonna be here because if she's asking for something from him and he's giving it to her, but she can't give it back, that's an issue. If you're gonna go ask for monogamy from a man, right? That's your preference, right? So you go to the man and you say, "Hey, I want monogamy." If the guy says no, the guy says no. Just like you can't force monogamy, I can't force polygamy. If I go to a female and say, "Hey, listen, I'm a dude that I want multiple females," you either rock with it or you don't. If she says no, goodbye. If she says yes,
under the assumption,
let's go.
You're operating under the assumption that the guy is communicating what he truly wants, and a lot of times,
that's the reason.
Dudes outside of the dudes out of your highly woke circles are not doing that.
No.
There are bums. There are bums trying to get shelter for the winter. Okay? There are bums who are trying to sleep in coochie for the night to stay warm. I'm trying to tell you, there are raggedy brothers out there. Okay,
I know.
While I be out here trying to catch for the men
are
all the time, and have mental health and child support and pay them better and treat them better. A lot of times, the responsibility to maintain and carry these relationships cannot rely solely on women.
That's right.
Right. Okay.
But
so
regardless,
if
you want a traditional woman, you got to be a traditional man, and vice versa. A lot of men around here want a traditional woman, but they're not traditional men.
Yeah.
Okay,
they don't even know how to communicate what they want at the rest of them.
Okay. Let's
they
go
don't even know how to read the menu. That's all these mother's problem. All these free classes online at these universities.
Caroline. Two things.
I'm just saying.
Listen, two things. The first
you
thing
haven't called me in a long time. I know. I'm just saying.
I know I haven't called you in a long
time.
Watching
the videos and podcasts of men, Carlens, it seems like a lot of the responsibility today to maintain everything is on women. Okay, I would a more balanced point of view. I'm done.
Okay, so let me not give you that.
I got you.
Let me not give you that.
Does that make sense though, Carlens?
Yes, it does.
I'm sorry, you trying to be.
Now let me give you that. Let's go to marriage, right? Let's go to marriage.
I watched a video about that the other day. It needs to be revised to be in the favor of men. I saw that. It was a man.
50% of marriages, right? And in divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Out of those divorces,
initiated by women, sometimes
70 to 80% are initiated by the women.
I knew that.
70 or 80. Let's stop there. Now, next one. We have these things called sperm banks. So women are choosing to be single mothers where they don't even know who the father is and then complain that somebody is not there. Let's stop the cap today. Next thing, that's number 2. Number 3. Let's go to the fact. Let's go to number 3.
Are they still choosing?
What do you mean? Who? The women?
Go ahead. No.
Go ahead.
Wait. Go ahead, Carlens. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Upgrade. Do you think?
Caroline, who's choosing? You talking about the men or the women?
The women, the ones who don't go to the sperm bank and who are having consensual sex.
Okay.
Like, what are you doing?
So let's go there. Let's go to number 3. Number 3. This statement might get a lot of people. Every baby mama chooses her baby daddy. Because we have abortion clinics, because we have Planned Parenthood, every woman has chose her baby daddy. Because when she didn't want the daddy, she got an abortion. Stop. Let me not say every. We're not excluding rape. We're not excluding molestation. We're not excluding those situations. We're talking about women who have had sex with men and sat there and said, "Oh, I don't want to have a child with you." But then chose to have a child with somebody else. So we're talking about those women. That's number 3. You have a lot of men out here who want to be in their child's life. They cannot. You have men who are in jail right now for child support. You have a lot of men out here who want to be in their child's life. Child support. They cannot. Child support. Trying to literally live a life to pay for their child and end up in jail. And then when they come out, What job can they get? Who's going to support what? So when we talk about these issues that are going on, we have to realize that, yes, are there fuck men out there? Of course there are. Those are them simp ass dudes. Those are them dudes who literally are sitting there poking women all day and trying to have kingdoms, but don't have no money to build one. Those are those dudes who were never taught by a man that sat there and said, yo, protect your seed, because your seed is everything. I learned it the hard way. A man who doesn't love and protect his seeds, those are them dudes who literally live scot-free.
That's true.
All they do is get talked about online. That's it. They get scot-free. Nobody going to court for them. Nobody looking for them. It's them dudes who are literally trying to take care of them kids. Those are the men who are in jail. Those are the men who are homeless. Those are the men who are sacrificing. Are there fuck dudes? Yeah, they are. There are. But guess what? Women they ain't talking about them like that. And when they do, they're giving a skewed whole view of, oh, well, this man ain't trying to sit there and be my child's father. But let's be real. If you went and you asked the father and the mother and they had a conversation, did he really want to have their child? Yeah, they chose to have sex. Yes, they chose to have sex. Yes, she got pregnant. But how many men are there suffering, hurting right now of unborn children who they would have had, they should have had, and they couldn't have because the woman didn't want to have it? So let's stop the cat. At the end of the day, it's on both sides. Are there fuck niggas out there? Yes. But are there condoms? Yes. But watch this. How many women sit there and tell men, oh, you ain't got to put the condom on? I'm on birth control. Whole lie. Let's talk about Drake's the female in the hotel with Drake when Drake had to put hot sauce to protect his whole seed.
I got something to say, though.
Go ahead. Hold on, wait. Go ahead. Listen.
I haven't spoken in a minute.
Go ahead.
You have
it. It's your show. Go ahead.
All right. So we say that women choose their baby fathers, right? But don't men choose their baby mothers as well?
I was just about to say that.
You know
Watch this. Yes. Listen, pay attention. Watch this, though. Again, let's go back to what I just said, though. Let's go back to what I just said, though, Gabriel, because you're missing it.
No.
If I chose my baby mother and she decided to abort my child because it's her body and she chooses to,
right?
I don't have no child.
But wait.
But when she but let's say I'm sitting there, I'm just a one night stand. This is her third abortion, or she doesn't believe in abortions. One night stand. I'm sitting there telling her, I don't want no children right now. I'm good. Oh, no, but I don't believe in abortions, and I'm going to have this child. Do you understand? She chooses her baby daddy. A man can choose his baby mother. Half of the time, he's going to get that baby mother.
You chose to nut her, though.
Exactly.
Yes, you chose to nut her. Are you having that child?
No, it doesn't matter.
Come on, let's get to the point, guys.
No.
Are you having that actual child?
No. I got to stop you here because I hear this rhetoric on Clubhouse a lot. And
Clubhouse is still active?
I don't be on Clubhouse.
Hell yeah.
I don't be on Clubhouse.
And it's troubling because a lot of men will sit there and go and nut in these women, complain that, oh, she didn't want my kid, or she wants that my kid. And on top of that, if you ask them, oh, I shot her club up. Why did you do it if you know she was a bad person? Why? Because wait. Sperm leaves your body, not her body.
Right.
Woo-hoo! Yes.
Life technically starts with you.
Exactly.
So
right.
If you're being reckless with your seed, right, which is your golden ticket,
not wearing a condom,
a legacy, right? You're not worried about having a woman tell you to wear a condom. You're doing it first. Let me ask you something, right? Do you protect your home?
Yes.
Do you protect your phone?
Yes.
Do you protect your wallet?
Yes.
Why don't you protect your body?
Yes. There we go.
Again, let's go back. Let's go back to.
You can't go back anywhere.
No. Because you said it. No. You said it. You said it very clearly, Ray. Wait. You said it right now.
Hold on. Wait.
Do you protect your home?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Do you protect your phone?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Do you protect your what else? Your money?
Protect your phone, your wallet, your home, your phone, home,
and then your body.
Wallet. Yes. Why don't you protect your body?
Okay. A real man is going to teach his son that.
That's nonsense.
A woman is not going to teach his son to protect his home and himself and his body.
That's nonsense. Listen, This is what bothers me, right? This is what bothers
A
me.
real man is not going to tell his son or another man to protect himself and his home and his body and his seed.
Let me
Hold on.
go ahead.
Can I say something? How
Go
often
ahead.
do men
Not a
do that
simp.
with this- How often do men do that with their sons? Like
In general,
I've
That,
never heard of anything.
again, that's the whole point we're trying to make when I keep on saying simps, because there's too many simps out here. Now,
But
if I
you-
put my
you're just
son on the line
saying-
right now,
but what
if I
you
put
just
my
said is
son-
logic.
if I put my 19-year-old son on the line right now, my son would tell you, Daddy has told me every female I fuck is my potential baby mama. Which
Oh, yeah,
means,
I can believe that. Yeah.
so be protected. On
Right.
top of that, if anything happens, so if you don't even like her, don't even deal with her, because she's a whole nother woman when she gets pregnant.
But
That's
you're
right.
giving.
So there's not a lot of men doing that, but guess what? My daddy didn't tell me that. So when I became a man, when my son made me a man, I then had to go and say, you know what? I'm not going to deal with all the shit that I dealt with dealing with him and his mama. So let me go tell him so that he doesn't have to deal with the same things. Are there men doing that today? No. Why? Because there are too many simps out here.
But see, I love this. You know why? This is the hypocrisy in men that I've noticed a lot, right?
What's that?
You guys don't give the same grace to women who have made mistakes, right?
Yes, we do.
No, you don't. No, we don't.
Hold
There-
on. Wait. If you're talking about sex, that's a different story.
No,
You
it's
cannot
not.
give grace on sex.
It's not.
If
It's
you're
the
talking
same
about
thing.
stop, so, but if you're talking about any other thing, yes, you can. But watch this: behaviors are indicative to what you say.
I mean,
lot
I
of
just love how
times-
y'all just dropping off
You know-
babies, but not dropping off orgasms. But I'm gonna go back on mute.
Oh, that's your problem, not mine.
I don't have that problem. I'm just saying.
That's a female's problem, not a man's.
What you mean?
If you don't
No.
stop. I am your physical dildo.
No.
I'm your physical dildo.
And I'm your
If
physical
you can
pocket
get off
pussy. What are
on
you
a
talking about?
dildo by yourself, if you can get
I
off
love
on a
y'all,
dildo
man.
by
That is
yourself,
great.
Wait,
My
wait,
friends
wait,
is too
then
far.
mind you, if you want me to do all the work and then get you off too,
Hold on.
No,
wait,
I don't
wait,
want you to do all the work. I just think that you should be as invested in what I got going on as I am with you.
wait. Can I go back to
It's a
something
new-
real
it's a
quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Ray. I'm sorry. I
I
was
want
just
to go
being
back to
funny.
something real
My
quick.
bad.
I want to go back to something
Go ahead,
real
Ray.
quick, right? We spoke about monogamy, and we spoke about how it's not in a man's nature to be monogamous, right? And I love how a lot of men love to use the Bible to justify their actions, right? You spoke about David,
isn't the word? Unless we're not Christians.
huh?
Isn't the word unless we're not Christians?
No. Hold on. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going somewhere with
Okay.
this. You spoke about David, right? And the fact that him and Uriah, he took his wife, right? What happened to David's child? What happened to David's child with
And then he had another
Bathsheba?
one with the same woman.
Huh?
His child died, just
Died.
like Job's children died, and he had
Exactly.
another one with the same woman.
Because why? He had to repent, right? Now, let's go to somewhere, right? If we go to Genesis 2, verse 24, it says, "Therefore shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife." One woman, not not three, not four, not five. One woman, right?
What version you reading?
King James Version.
And we have to take something into consideration. In those certain areas in the time in the Bible, that was the custom. It doesn't mean that everybody was doing it. Some people, they came from the custom where you married one person. Other places was like, okay, well, we got like 2, 3, 4 different wives. So
But let's be logical here. We're in Genesis, right?
Yeah.
There's only 2 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna mute myself now.
That has no bearing on my point, because you guys like to use the Bible when it comes to submission, right? A woman should submit herself to a man. But
I don't use the Bible when it comes to submission.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general, like the points that I'm hearing when we talk about submission, right? It's always.
I need to be in your groups, Ray. Please add me. Please invite me to the groups you're in, because I don't know. None of these conversations that's going on.
I could put you to Facebook, whatever. I'm saying in general, right? This is a general perspective. I'm not saying you per se, but I'm saying in general, right? And I'm realizing that there's so much hypocrisy within men that I'm starting to notice that, like, yo, this doesn't make sense. We talk about submission in general, but then we don't talk about how it says men should submit themselves to women, to their wives. You feel me? And it's like, yo,
To your wife, not to your boo,
okay,
not
okay.
to your
Bro,
to
listen,
your side boo.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Carolina, to say
No,
something.
no, I love it. You know why? Because men are asking for submission from their girlfriends, from their side chicks. Cap.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Now watch this though. So watch this though. You ready? So here's the thing. The reason why they're asking for it is to see if you have the quality to do it.
Bullshit.
Because if you don't, I ain't fucking with you.
Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit.
You calling bullshit?
I'm calling bullshit.
Ray.
Sorry,
You mean to tell me?
bullshit.
So Ray, so then how are you vetting women then? How are you gonna vet a female if you're gonna go sit there and say, okay, so let me see if this female is gonna be because I want a submissive. So let me see if this female is gonna be submissive, and I'm dealing with her and she's not submissive now. I have two choices. I can either deal with her after her not being submissive, or I could choose not to. Right? The fuck niggas still choose to deal with her. A real man would try to at least correct her in her ways and be like, yo, listen, I'm not asking you for submission because a man has to submit to you anyway. You see, a real man submits to his woman anyway. Whatever she asks for, if you ask me for protection without even asking, I'm going to go do it.
If you gotta ask for submission from a woman, she's not for you and she doesn't like you. That's it.
Right.
I've never had to beg for submission.
So watch this though. So when a man's an actual man, whether he has 1 or 20 females, they will all submit to him because he is the man. Now, if he has to go ask and say, hey, woman or wife, go submit to me, then he's not no man and she has the pants on. That's a different story. So at the end of the day, what you're looking for or that man, either there's going to be a man who's monogamous, which there are many men who are monogamous, and there are some who are not, or there are some who choose or who want to be. But the reason why they are not is because the women who they are talking to and they're asking for these things from these women, they ain't giving it to them. So if I ask you for submission, I ask you to go do these, and I'm doing these things. I'm protecting you, I'm providing for you in certain ways. And provision doesn't mean money. Provision means intellect. Provision means solutions. Provision means solutions to problems. So if I'm also providing that, if I'm also protecting you in certain ways, if I'm also giving you what you need physically, and then in return I'm asking you, hey, I just want somebody who's kind of fit and somebody who's healthy. You can't go to the gym? Oh, I want somebody, I need somebody who cooks a meal. Well, I go outside and I'm with you for 5 hours while you're shopping. I have to protect you the whole time, but it takes you 20 minutes to cook a meal and you can't cook that? But that's submission to you? Submission to me is I have to go outside and I'm literally bearing the whole world and everything that I got to go through. But when it comes to folding clothes and doing laundry, which I can do myself, because to be honest, everything that a woman can do, a man can do for himself.
No, a man should do for himself. Not
pay
could.
Attention very clear. No. Should and could.
No.
Should and could. I can cook for myself. I can clean for myself. No. I can cook for myself. I can clean for myself. I can do all that stuff. So at the end of the day, if I had a prostitute and a maid and a friend, prostitute, maid, friend, and I forgot the other one, but let's use just the three. If I had those three, just as females, if my wife can't be these three, because these three are individual, they do individual things. If she can't be these three, why am I then going for that when I have to be all these things for her? I have to be the protector, the provider, all these things. I'm willing to go do that. Be willing to go do your job. Be willing to go, and if I have to go and protect you and have to go now and go to the gym and make sure that I'm physically fit, and on top of that, I'm also aware of my surroundings, you should be that too. It shouldn't just be on one side. It shouldn't just be also men are, and the sad reality is that yes, are there men talking about these things? I'm going to say it again. These are the simps.
They're not the simps. These are the alpha males that are speaking loud and proud. But hold on, before you go off, right? This is where my issue is, right? The minority of men that are speaking on this are speaking for the majority, right? And what the problem is that you have a lot of high value men, quote unquote, right? High value men who are not only speaking for average men, who are not only speaking for working men, who aren't only speaking just for bums, they're speaking for all men. The same way how you can say, not you per se, but you can say, oh, women are X, women are Y, women are Z, right? Goes to my point where Caroline said, we women, you said those men. Why is it? No, why is it?
But the reason why it's those is because there are men different from males. We're not going to categorize ourselves with everybody.
But we do.
Strong don't categorize themselves with weak.
But we do. We literally
You're not supposed to. There is a balance. There's a difference.
Just said that anytime that something is positive about men, we say we. Anything that's negative against men, it's they.
Who says we?
Men. Literal
men. Ain't shit. We all ain't shit. We all ain't shit.
So now you're saying we. Now you're saying we.
No. Pay attention very clearly. Watch this. We know that we all ain't shit. The difference between us men is that we don't have to keep on saying we because we all know that we ain't shit.
That's not true.
Hold on.
That is not true. Go ahead, Gabriel.
And so watch this. And those are the simps.
They're not the simps. Go ahead, Gabriel. Go ahead.
All right. I want Caroline.
And if those are alpha men talking, those alpha men are not alpha men. Those are beta men, and they're simps.
Go ahead, Caroline. Go ahead.
I want to hear something from Caroline because it looks like she's burning to get something off of her chest. Go ahead.
I have come to the realization that no matter how much you try to cap and, as the young folk and cool adults say, and advocate and proclaim how good men are, you know, there are still those who would like try to isolate themselves in the corner of goodness and greatness and wokeness, while the rest of the scruffy ones just, you know, that's not me, but like, you know, we all look alike. You know, oh, that used to be me, but like I'm changed, I'm different, cool, whatever. I try, you know, I try to understand the male's perspective and I try, but then like you sit on and you watch and it's just like, you sow your wild oats, you do everything and whatever, you lay down with somebody's wife and somebody's girlfriend and you just doing everything and making babies and doing whatever. But the world will turn around and be like, it's the woman's fault. It's the woman. It's her. It's all her. That's the problem for me, right? You were raised by single mothers and only women in the house. Cool. But just like you don't want a woman running around talking about her daddy issues, we're not trying to hear about your mommy issues forever. We got therapists on the sliding scale. We got therapists everywhere. Like, you got to deal with your stuff. Like, you cannot medicate your pain away with isolation and, you know, overworking and hypersexuality. Like, that's not okay. And I, as a woman, I understand what my girlfriends be telling me. We all here in existence together. Black folk are the only folk who has not received reparations. We the only folk that have been raped and stolen and thrown around from our lands, but we are the only people having conversations about submission versus independence. We're the only people having conversation about masculinity versus femininity. And you know what?
I disagree.
That's fine. We are the only people having those conversations, okay? White men and men of other cultures get up and do what they're supposed to do for their women. The women are turned around, groomed for those positions, and fill the gap. But see, black men argue with black women arguing with black men.
They're not black men.
Yeah, but the only way that the lineage of our species continues is through us. Greatness flows through our veins. If we understood where we came from, what we stand for, and who we are, we would be having a different conversation. I'm not about to argue with nobody about nothing that I require in a relationship, because I tell you up front, and it should be the same vice versa. But when I see the conversation, when I'm on the podcast or whatever, ew. All of these men out here asking for and requiring submission. You don't even know how to listen on your job. You don't know how to have a conversation.
And what is it on the reverse?
You don't know how to go to brunch, okay?
What is it on the reverse?
And he told me brunch is for women. And I was like,
what?
In the middle of the day.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm that guy.
I care what. What?
Brunch is for women. I ain't gonna hold you.
Why is a bunch of men
The
sitting
restaurant
at a
had
table
men
eating
and
brunch?
women, so I'm confused. Brunch is for everybody who got
brunch
stomach,
is food.
whatever.
Brunch is
I ain't gonna hold you.
Cool. See, that's when y'all putting gender stuff on everything.
That's crazy.
But
See,
here's why. But you know
things.
why though?
Wait.
We have overcomplicated things. We have thrown sex on everything. We sneak linking on everything. A song came on my radio station the other day, talking about I fell in love with my sneaky link. I don't even understand how you do that. What? You got women in these groups trying to figure out how to be in a whole face so they can have attention from men. I don't care about none of that. You can go deal with somebody else. You can go get whatever you want from somebody else, because I'm not putting out what I don't feel like putting out just to make you feel better about life.
I mean, there was FNF all summer.
I'm good on that. If something happens to that man upstairs, I'm gonna be shit out of luck.
So Caroline,
because I don't cook. I do not cook. He manages the money. He do all the cooking, all of that. I said, if something happened to him, me and my son I gotta afford a chef. I gotta hire a financial planner, and I might have to hire a man, because I'm not doing all of this again and learning and growing and no, because my husband set a standard. But me and him and I had a conversation, an expectation of what we wanted and demanded from each other. Not the world, not the podcast, not any of that. Him and I understood what he wanted, and he understood what I wanted. So we came together. Cool. The kitchen is not my forte. I find a recipe and I follow that joint, okay? Because that's how my brain works. Men, y'all don't operate on your emotions, and y'all are very emotionally intelligent, and that's what the podcast telling y'all, right? Cool. Boom. And women run on their emotions. That's what, men are from Mars, Venus, whatever, everybody different. Cool. I run on my emotions. But I had to explain to my husband that while I appreciate your logic and your solution-driven approach, I'm gonna need you to hear what I'm saying first.
That's right.
So once you listen to me, once you hear me vent or complain about the job, my logic is telling me that I need this job. I know I can't walk off the job because that's emotionally unstable and fiscally irresponsible, right?
Right.
But if I'm able to vent to you without you trying to throw a solution at me, I could go to work the next day and be like, cool, I have a safe space to talk. The solution for me would just be to find another job immediately, because the internet is telling you got to live this soft life, and all your employees must love you and cater to your every whim. But sometimes work is hard. You gotta work, right? But not every time I want your solution, right? Because if a man tried to vent to me and I'm like, no, I'm not trying to hear that. What you need to do is call them, call this person, call this lawyer, and you're not trying to hear all that. So when you're interacting with a person, everybody's listening to what's out there and what's going on. You have to get down to the nitty-gritty with the person you're dealing with. Because the internet is flooded with opinions. Everybody wants me to have a podcast, YouTube, and I'm like, my voice is going to get lost because I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm not getting loud. I'm not picking the most negative. That's too much. That energy is not safe to exist in, because I had to heal my hormones, stop operating out of my testosterone, and build on my estrogen. And I'm not trying to go back to that. But the thing is, my husband also had to grow as well. It's not the cojones to grow and develop and change and to cater. It's not just on the woman.
That's right.
I understand what my husband wants from me. Okay. He likes French tip. I hate acrylic nails. But sometimes I just be like, Maylin, just go ahead and throw a little something on there. I'll figure it out. I like my fingertips, stay valuable, but I'm going to figure it out. When it's time to do a photo shoot, I hate wigs, I hate makeup. But then I'm like, boo, I'm gonna just make the appointment to get the straight backs, cornrows, and you figure it out. Because for me, that's what you like. It's your opinion. When it's like you want to go somewhere, you want to pick an outfit, cool. But I had to learn. I had to learn that I had to pay attention. I had to listen. We're not listening to each other. We're just talking. We're not listening to understand and comprehend. We're just talking to be heard. Just making noise. That's not safe. If you want a traditional partner, you have to be one. If you want a submissive woman, be that masculine man where she feels safe. You have to be what you're looking for. You listen to all these conversations, it's oversaturated with toxicity. All these people out here talking about get your look back. If you cheat on me, I'm leaving. He cheated on me, I'm leaving. Me and my son leaving, I'm taking your money. Because if you are unfaithful,
right. Thank you.
If you are unfaithful, you have violated the terms of the agreement.
Exactly.
So I'm leaving.
Not take his money though.
So no.
Yeah.
Let's go to this. Let's go to this.
That child support payment.
Let's go to this. Let's go to this.
But if you continue to abide by the terms of the agreement that you and I agreed to, we Gucci. I'll continue to grow with you. I'll support you. You support me. We flourish together. But if one person decides to violate that agreement, now if you tell me, Caroline, I'm cool on you, I'm finna go, and we can dissolve it, I'll be like, all right, you can take what you came in with. I'm got what I got. But you violate that, I'm taking you to the bank. I'm taking you to the cleaners. But as far as the dating scene is concerned, I got friends out here. My single friend sat at the dinner table with us a couple weeks ago and talked about what she would do in a relationship. Now, master's degree, she's almost 40, like owns her home. She out here talking about like she's an independent woman, but when she's in a relationship, he coming home to a home cooked meal every day. He get up in the morning and he got his slippers by the bedside. He take a shower. She done warmed up his drawers.
That's not.
My husband looked at me. I look back at him like,
some warm drawers be feeling good.
Warm drawers. They warm up when you slide them up. I'm not warming up nobody's drawers. Because that's not the agreement. That's the terms and conditions of our agreement. That's her agreement, whoever. But that's not. If you told me from the years ago that you want, I would have packed them joints into something. You know, started your bath, would have throw some bad salts in there. But that's not the agreement. So what I'm saying is people are just out here running around with their own agendas and making it seem like it's on the other person's side to like fix it and be perfect. You don't enter into a relationship, a dating conversation, a courting situation perfect.
Right.
Regardless of your financial status, regardless of your sexual powers, regardless of like how you look, how you're mentally, nobody's ever going to be perfect. Everybody's going to be in a season of continuous work. You're constantly working on yourself. Granted, I don't want you to show up in shambles like you just left the junkyard, but
hold on. Let me say something.
Go ahead.
You know, it's funny. All right, so I understand everybody. I want to say for the last year, everybody started getting into Kevin Samuels, right? Kevin Samuels said something wild. He's like, yo, if you are at a man's house at 2 a.m. in the morning, you should be down on your knees. The woman responded, praying? Well, I mean, that's what you're going to do. Like, it's funny to think like.
Why you at my house at 2 o'clock in the morning if we ain't doing nothing?
I get, all right, hold on. I get what you said, but
what are we doing?
Hold on.
What are we doing? What are we doing at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Hold on. Maybe she needed a shoulder to cry on.
Bye. If that was the case, we're gonna have that conversation about that. But if you're coming over, and we just chilling at 2 o'clock in the morning, we fucking.
But here's the thing. That's the problem. Like, men have these expectations, and they're like, yo, this is what should happen at this time. Like, it's the same thing. Like, yo, if you fly a girl out to Dubai or something.
Gabriel. So if a female invited you over at 2 o'clock in the morning, she's not expecting to fuck?
Hold on.
If she invited you over at 2 o'clock in the morning, she's just there. You just there to just cry or show. No, she wants you to beat that pussy up.
I'm talking about she's going over. Let me say one thing. Right? I've seen, like, imagine watching a video where a dude is like, yo, like, I took you out on the trip, you're not gonna sleep with me? All right, I'm gonna leave you here. You find your own way to get home. That's retarded. If you wanted sex in the first place, all you had to do was say, like,
wait, stop. So I flew you. You know the situation. You know what's going on. I flew you out.
Okay.
So we're having a good time.
Yeah.
You know, now here's the thing.
Entitled, though. That's the
Gabriel. Here's the problem.
All right, go ahead, bro.
We're acting as if females aren't smart enough to know what's going on.
Oh, they are.
They run game all day. They got a free trip to a place. They got free meals. And then as soon as it's about to come on, now we ain't about to go do that. Now, mind you, watch this. If you knew you was going on a trip, you should have had some money left over just in case your plan had went left. right? But instead, you have no money, which you probably still do.
Right.
But now what you're doing is you're going online, oh, I ain't got no money. So now all of a sudden, a whole bunch of people are going to start sending you money to go help you on your trip. But if a dude did that, ain't nobody sending no dude no money. If he got left, he got left. So at the end of the day, now that's that point. Now, Caroline, the only reason why I apologize for trying to interject is only because of this. You'll hit a lot of points, and when you do, all I'm trying to do is answer, and then you go to another point next, and then you go to another point next, so then I forget the first point. So I'm just trying to answer. See, like with men, the reason why we go back and forth without arguing is because somebody will say something, they'll hit a point, another person will answer, and then they'll go right back. It's not disrespect. It's not like, oh, let me finish my answer. It's more like, oh, let me just answer this. Let me get this out the way because you said this statement. Let me kind of clear it up. Let's move on to the next thing you're saying. But then when you're going on 6 different things, then I don't even know how to go back to the first or the second or the third. It's just general.
Treat it like college. Take notes next time.
I am. I promise you. I was looking for a pen and a paper. With you, I will. Never with you.
A chance to finish. All right, so you have all these relationship gurus out here. I remember Dr. Umar said something about baby mothers or whatever, right? And that men don't choose their baby mothers. The thing is that once you have sex with that woman and she ends up getting pregnant, there you go. You've already made your choice. And this guy is one to talk. Like he don't have everything together. So how can you give advice when you know you're now on the up and up? And then with Kevin Samuels, I think at some point in his life he was probably a simp. And I guess him doing his live shows was a way to overcompensate for what he went through and tell the men like, yo, you ain't got to go through this. But at the same time, disrespecting women because it's like all the times he used to tell women shut the F up live while they're on. Hold on, wait, while they're on his show, and I'm like, yo, you can get the message out without being disrespectful, and I think that's what a lot of women and men didn't appreciate because he got on both people, you know. Mm-hmm. But women I know were hurt more because it's like, yo, you saying something to me, fine, but like you ain't gotta be all nasty about it. But sometimes you have to be blunt with certain things you're saying. But I just feel like he wanted that controversy, you know, and he got it in. So that's what made him who he was. I mean, at the end of the day,
with social media, the first thing, because my cousin is in marketing, so the first thing he said to me was, the only way that you're going to be seen, and I still haven't done it yet, is to be controversial, right? That's number one. Mm-hmm. So his clickbaits are different than his conversations. Mm. If you ever watch a whole conversation, he doesn't start off, fuck you, bitch, you dumb.
Right.
He doesn't start off like that. He literally starts off calm. Hey, asking questions.
Right.
The woman would then tell on herself.
Right.
Then on top of telling on herself, she would do what the sign is. He didn't make it up. Another person made it up. Sign is shame, insult, need to be
no, shame, insult, correct. Guilt.
Guilt. Sorry, yeah, my bad.
Be right.
My bad. Thank you, Ray. Shame, insult, guilt need to be correct.
Yeah.
You'll notice that one of the 4 will come out somewhere in that conversation where then they have to either say, shut up, be quiet. He either have to cut you off. So he never started off the conversation. That's number 1. Number 2, if you go to who he followed from, Jason Black, the business on YouTube, that is the man.
Never heard
if you think Kevin Samuels is bad, you've never heard Jason Black talk to a female guest.
Matter of fact, let me stick a pin in that. If you think Jason Black was bad, go back 10 years ago to Tommy Sotomayor when he was on World Star Hip Hop. Oh, every other week, going live on air, cussing women out, whether it be in person, whether it be over the air.
Wait, hold on. Let me say something about Tommy Sotomayor. Tommy Sotomayor is, I would say he's the equivalent of Uncle Ruckus. Because although you talk about certain truths that black men and black women did, it's like he just focused mainly on that. And it's like, yo, I don't like going, I'm not going out with these black women. So he made it seem like he'll mess with white girls or some other color. So I always felt like he was Uncle Ruckus. Like he takes it to that point where I feel like if he had the chance, he would sell out his people. That's one of the reasons why I didn't like him, because it's like, yo, he's negative. Like, you could be saying something to the people, like, and speaking to us, but it's like, if you constantly call black women ratchet and you're not looking for a solution between them or black men, how can we build? You know what I mean? And it also goes back to what Caroline said about how we spend more time talking about each other instead of talking with each other, and, you know, finding solutions and other stuff like that instead of putting one another down.
So here's the question, Gabriel.
Sotomayor is poison. Tariq Nasheed, he's another one. He's not the same as that dude, but
he ain't poison like that.
But he could be just as toxic in certain ways.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's a video by Jason Black called "Toxic Masculinity is Great."
Mm-hmm.
I actually took that video. I took the pieces in it. I put it in my book called "Be the Upgrade," which is on Amazon right now. If you want,
it's a good book.
Because I gotta purchase it.
Thank you, Ray. Ray, you are the man. Ray is the man. Ray read the book, gave me 5 stars. I appreciate you. And one thing, and mind you, what the response that Ray gave me was, it sounds red pillish, right? And mind you, I took that because I had to sit back and reflect and say, you know what? It kind of does sound ish, but I had to realize that I don't really follow the rhetoric of the red pill because I'm not angry or mad at women. It's just the fact that I understand their nature now, and that their nature, just like our nature, is opposite but also equivalent. It literally balances each other out. So there are situations where, okay, I'll give you an example. There was a situation where I was dealing with a female who was in her masculine energy, right? A lot. And of course, I'm in mine. And so we got into it, and she called me a bitch.
Oh, boy.
Right. You see all of you just went like this? So now, mind you, I know words very, very well. Now, bitch has 2 meanings. One means to complain. So when a female calls a man and says, yo, you're bitching or you're acting like a bitch, that just means you're complaining. The next word means you're a female dog, right? But when you look at a pit bull who is either pregnant or who gave birth, you touch any of her kids and you put her scent on you put your scent on the dog, she will kill that dog because it's a threat to everybody else.
Wow.
When you go back to the book How to Make a Slave, it said that the white slave had to beat the bitch out the black woman. Wow. Because you see, the bitch was the one who held shit down. Oh, that's a bad bitch. Who do we call bad bitches now? We call bad bitches
IG models.
Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, because they're doing their shit. They bad bitches. They look good. They making their bread. They bad bitches. Right? But when you call a man a bitch, it's a different thing. So when she called me a bitch, it hurt me because I wasn't complaining about anything at the time. Now you were throwing an insult. So it was different than her talking to other men saying, oh, you a bitch, and oh, bitch this, bitch that. Well, when it comes to me, you ain't gonna call me a bitch. Unless I am bitching about a situation in context. But here's the reality. Most men, most males aren't emotionally stable or emotionally intelligent to have conversations with women.
That's true.
It's true.
That's the issue. Because they're too in their feminine and in their energy where they're crying too much or they're complaining too much instead of sitting there and having this conversation. Let me get out of my emotions for a second. Let's have this conversation. Because when I have the conversation with the female about bitch, instead of having a phone conversation or a text, I wanted to see her face to face. And when we had that conversation, I want to understand why she called me a bitch. And then when she understood my context, and not even my context, the dictionary's context, because we're talking the English language, right? So we should understand the definitions of the English language. We don't comprehend what we're talking about because we just talk about our feelings and not about the words that we're actually using and the definitions that apply to them.
In the context.
That's the issue with the black people in today's society. This is what I feel the word means. This is what it means. Period. Either you rock with it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a man to lead, let him lead. But if he's leading the wrong way, women are selfish in their nature. Jump the fucking ship.
Look at her face.
Caroline, you said it yourself. If your husband cheats, what are you going to do? You're going to leave and take his money. Ray's face went, That was the prime example.
What I said was, if he violates the terms and conditions of our agreement,
right,
that's the decision I will make.
Okay.
The consequence of your actions
watch this,
will cost you your bottom dollar.
Okay.
That's what I said. I didn't say
Caroline,
that I will wake up one morning and be thirsty for some McDonald's and be like, Burger's at my house. I don't want it no more. I didn't say I would leave him just because it's Tuesday. Okay. I said if he violates the terms and conditions, that's what I said. Go ahead, get some perspective and context. Upgrade, sir.
Listen,
don't do that. Don't do me like that, sir.
And the perspective. No.
No, we not
I never
selfish.
negated the context.
What is selfish?
I never negated the context and the perspective.
Like I Google the food. I don't know who Google the food is.
Caroline.
But it's not me.
Caroline.
Carlens.
I never negated the context.
You said selfish. I don't like that because I'm not selfish.
Pay attention.
If I was selfish, I wouldn't be here.
So watch this.
Okay,
So let's be real. Let's go back to numbers. 50% of marriages in a divorce. 70 to 80% of them end with women. A lot of the women, when you hear them talk, some of them, I'm unhappy. It wasn't working out for me. When it comes to the abusive relationships, you are supposed to be selfish and leave with your children because you are the nurturer of your children. It is not a bad thing to be selfish when it comes to your children, because if your husband then decided to abuse you and you decided to stay, we would all look at you like you're stupid. But if you decided to go, real men and women would sit there and say you were smart because you were taking care of your child and yourself. The ones who are in their feelings would sit there and say, oh, you shouldn't leave your husband because it's for the child. No, in your nature, in men's nature, we don't leave. We do everything. Even when we cheat, we still come back. That's why you shouldn't ask for loyalty from men. You should ask for respect, because loyalty, dogs are loyal. Dogs will leave the house, eat somewhere else, fuck somewhere else, piss somewhere else, shit somewhere else, and still come back home. Still come back home. So when you ask for loyalty, and guess what? Those men are loyal. Those men will literally cheat and come back to you because they won't leave you for the side bitch because they're loyal. But when you ask for respect, which you, Caroline, asked for from your husband,
I did.
That's the difference of what we're talking about. So when a man and a woman have respect for each other and the things that they're talking about, that's different. Different from me having a different view and you having a different view. Or ask for a divorce for a better model. Okay, hold on. Let's go to these comments for a second.
Unless you got the money for that.
Right. So Andrea Summers, thank you, Drea. I love you. Thank you so much. She joined. I sent her the link. She's the bomb. So she said, I'd like to hear the conversation to the comment of the difference in the use of pronouns between the men and women, the we from women and the that guy from men, if we all want to circle back. We kind of did circle back from that, where here's the thing. Men would talk about we when we know we fucked up, right? We ain't shit. But now, mind you, we would distinguish ourselves, a real man would distinguish himself from the males. You don't think about when you're calling a little boy a young man. You don't call him a man, you call him a young man. Why? Because he's showing the characteristics of a man. A man has characteristics. A male is born a male. You have a penis. A female is born a female. She has a vagina. But a man and a woman have characteristics. Those are words that we use. And then those words have context and meaning. So when you call a young woman, she shows the characteristics of a young woman.
Right.
So in essence, what we have to do is when women use they use we as a collective. Men, real men, distinguish themselves from males.
Hold on, let me note that we got 5 minutes left in this broadcast. So go ahead, continue.
Damn it, that sucks.
Dang.
Monogamy is a social contract. Hillbilly, I love you, whoever you are. Thank you for always commenting. You are the bomb. Hillbilly is a social contract born of man of nature. I don't know. Women took charge and started making demands. Now women complain that men aren't interested. Thank you, Billy. That is exactly what it is. Women took charge and started making demands. Now women complain that men aren't interested. If men are in charge and doing what they're supposed to do, right? Do what they're supposed to go do. And now women are now doing what men are supposed to go do and now ask for the men to go do what they're supposed to go do. The men are doing it. Unfortunately, they don't have the compensation of the money that they're doing it isn't paying for it. The medical nurse and the FedEx person who's working the same hours aren't getting paid the same because their careers aren't the same. But guess what? You want your prime now. But he gets $15 an hour. But mind you, the nurse who's helping somebody's life get saved, she's getting paid close to $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year. But she's not going to necessarily respect that man who's making that FedEx money, even though she got her package now. That's the difference.
Yeah, but when you go to the hospital, right, you want your problem fixed now, not tomorrow, not next week. You want it now. So technically, it's still the same concept.
Right, but the difference is
elements.
The difference is the pay. And the unfortunate part is that the men are taking the jobs that aren't paying enough. Think about literally, it went from you getting packages 2 weeks to you getting it in a couple of hours. But yet that person, now mind you, Jeff Bezos is getting billions of dollars, but the person who's delivering that package to you, which most likely is a man, isn't getting that.
Right.
The police officer who's protecting you isn't getting that. The fireman who's protecting you isn't getting that. So a lot of black women want these men who are in high corporate positions, yet mind you, again, you just need a plug because they're doing things by sitting at home. They're not even working at corporations. They're making businesses online. They're making businesses through Forex. This is another another income that a lot of black men ain't knowing because all we do is work all day and come home. So at the end of the day, you need to understand that men ain't complaining about the jobs that we're doing. We're going to do them, but we're not getting paid for the compensation. And then you're asking us to do more. Well, we're trying to do more. We're trying to be the supervisor and the manager. But how can we when the supervisor and manager wants to stay in that same position because they want to sit there and still provide for their families too? That's the world that we live in today. A lot of men ain't running to be nurses. A lot of men ain't running to be nurses. That's the highest paying position. But mind you, they're going to do the jobs that are physical for you. They're going to throw out your garbage for you. They're going to deliver your packages for you. They're going to fix your electricity. What female have you seen when a blackout was happening during the rain that she came out and went on the pole and fixed your electricity?
That's true. They're not doing the Connet jobs.
Men die every day.
That's true.
Every day. So give that man some respect, just the same way that he's coming home and paying all them bills. He's asking for a meal, and you can't even provide a 20-minute meal, but he's outside for 8 hours and he can die for providing for other people and you. That's the issue that we have today, that we don't respect black women and black men because of what we're doing today in society.
Yeah. All right, so listen, we have more than enough time because this is StreamYard. This is not Zoom. So if y'all want to go for if you guys want to go for extra 30 minutes, it's no problem.
I'm down. We can go for however long we want to.
It's lit.
Nah, I ain't trying to be here all day. I got things to do in the morning.
Okay, so you know what? Here's the thing.
I'll give you that 30 minutes.
Did you have another question though? Because I don't think this was the only question.
My baby fine. He with his daddy. We here.
Did you have another question, Gabriel?
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to. All right, so I want to move on from this topic, and I want to spend a short time on. Somebody had mentioned something about body count, right? And I think I posted it on my page also as well earlier this week, right? About how, matter of fact, it might not have been on my Facebook. No, it was on Facebook, and I did a TikTok video, right? Like, as men, we often shame women for having multiple partners, but women do not shame men for going around with extra women. So, does that mean that that man is not a whore, or that's just how these things are set up? Where now she's the whore and I'm the I don't know. Like I'm just me. That's just how I operate. But go ahead.
But before we start this question, right?
Yeah.
I think we should let Caroline speak to this first.
All right, Caroline.
What's the question again?
All right, so why is it that when women have multiple partners, men shame them, right? But yet when men have multiple partners, women don't say nothing. But it's like, hold on. Yeah. Body count, right? Why is it that men are worried about women's body counts, but women are not worried about men's? But yet men will look at women as if they're whores for having a high body count. What's your thoughts on that? Because I feel like
it makes them feel more confident in their abilities. Guys, especially church guys, I don't understand how you will fight your way through a church, a community, a school, a workplace, and turn around and want that wholesome woman to be your wife. You marry her and then come.
Oh man.
My phone didn't die. Hold on.
Damn, she was about to talk about the church.
She was cooking, man. She was cooking.
She was cooking in the kitchen.
Don't worry, she's about to come back.
Okay.
But
go ahead, Ray.
Go ahead, Ray. Until Caroline.
No, go ahead. No. I want Carlens to answer this because I think my perspective might be a little different, but I need to formulate my words first. So go ahead.
I love you, Ray. Right, motherfucking man. Take the right now. We don't think like average men. For you to sit there and say that, I have to formulate so I can sit down and think. That's it. Go ahead, Caroline.
I'm back. The universe didn't want y'all to hear this. Okay, cool. I don't understand how men will thought their way through their communities and want a woman who has never been touched, who's never even been looked at by another man, but then get upset with her because she's not performing like the latest porn star in the bedroom.
Mercy.
We talk about body counts. The dudes that talk about body count most of the time be the ones with the most baby mamas, the most everything, but they don't even know.
You can find a lot of men like that. And
I'm not even looking for upgrade right now. You don't know how to either assist or facilitate the culmination process of this woman's pleasure, but you out here worried about how many she done slept with. If you done slept with everybody, just because you done slept with a lot of people don't mean that you know how you don't know. Just because you have slept with a lot of people does not mean you know what you're doing. But people out here like we grown and you know why everybody out here caring about body count. Listen, if you was out here for the street starting, I'm gonna need you to keep your community peen and vaginal canal to yourself. Because just because it's available does not mean that you have to make use for it. Okay? Because if you work 8 hours a day, or if you work 12 hours a day, You got to come home and sleep, work out, cook, meal prep, pray, devote yourself, hang out with friends. If you spending all that time hunching on somebody's daughter or son, you are not being productive.
You are right about that. You are right about that, though.
You're not making time to financially plan. You're not traveling, going nowhere. You're not, helping old ladies cross the street. You're not doing anything productive with your life. This hypersexual society that we living in. If all you're doing is having sex, I don't want to talk to you, because outside of the bedroom, you have nothing for me. You have no value for me. The same way men are out here like, I'm not really trying to do all of that for a woman who just has value in her body. I don't want to deal with a man who does not know how to control his sexuality. Because if you do not know how to control your sexuality, you are out of control. As a man, not a male, not those men, not this man, not me and them. No, you as a man. If you don't know how to control your sexuality, you are out of control.
Right.
You're right.
Let me say something.
That's it. Because me as a woman, right? You out here like, Caroline, every man you sleep with could be your baby father, right? And like you can't just be out there like that. You exchanging energies. I'm selective like that. Okay. I already know casual sex is not for me. I catch feelings because you're nice to me. I know that as a person. You nice to me, the culmination happened. I'm like, oh well, we go together now. I know that about myself.
Oh shit.
I know that I'm grown enough to understand that about myself. But the fact that men and women out here are trying to disassociate themselves, their emotions from the sexual experience is a problem for me. Because you have slept around, did whatever with everybody. When you get into a relationship with somebody who chooses monogamy, you don't know how to bring intimacy back. You don't know what it feels like because you just been hunching. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You just been, trying to disorient a woman's throat and, knock her cervix loose, but you don't know how to take care of her. You don't know how to be intimate. You don't know how to start the day off with like, I love you, and like text messages through the day to culminate with the bedroom. You just want to come through and like, woo, and you out. I believe, this is me personally, I believe that God created sex not just for reproduction, for men and women to enjoy it. When you are out here racking up body counts, it feels good, but you're not enjoying it. It doesn't speak to your soul. That joint should speak to your soul, because men and women release hormones when they orgasm, okay?
Right.
You are trying to go against the grain of your body and be like, nah, I don't do relationships. I don't do monogamy. Whatever you want, I don't do that, okay? Dude's crazy enough to see a woman catch feelings and be like, you know what? Throat go, I'm going to come back.
Throat go.
I'm gonna come back for the throat go though.
No, I'm for real.
If the throat goes from Robin the throat go, I'm gonna come back for the throat go.
No, Gabriel, let me talk to you. Because you got some sense, okay? Dudes be out here.
Man, Ray ain't got no sense.
Knowing they're crazy. Knowing they're crazy. Knowing they're fertile myrtles and be like, oh my God.
Fertile myrtle.
I don't want a baby with you. Then what you was doing over here then? I didn't cook you no food. Your favorite bottle of cognac or whatever you like is not popped open. I done roll you a blunt if you're a weed connoisseur. What you here for?
Because
I want to say something.
At the end of the day, when you older and the blue pill don't work, the is limp and it don't work.
Gas station pills
and it don't work. It don't work. When the little train that could can't no more. You shut up, Carlens. You have to have something else.
You see the insult? All right.
You have to. No, for real though. You have to have something else. You really do.
Oh my God.
I tell this to my lady friends all the time. You really have to do more than that.
Right. So here's the thing.
I'm a woman. I'm a woman who was almost 5 months postpartum. My baby turns 5 months, 7 days from now. I am
Happy Summer's
avoiding
birthday.
that point of life of the plague. Cause I'm that whole back-to-back Irish twins is ghetto. That's not my ministry.
I am an Irish twin, by the way.
That's
Me and
fine.
my
That's cool
sister.
for you. But that's for me in my house. I don't want that.
Me and my
So I'm
sister are
gonna
Irish
pull every
twins.
trick I got outside of the book to like do what it do. Cause I know how to adjust because we have established that kind of intimacy in our relationship. When you're passing around those acts and services that should be existing in intimate spaces, you are depriving yourself of that carnal soul connection that can happen with a man or a woman.
So
that's just
here's
me.
the thing.
I like that soul connection. You step up into the room and my soul speaks to you and your soul speaks to mine. You just out here passing out. You collecting. I may be Christian. I've been Christian in my life, baptized, cool. But I do believe in the transference of energy. I believe you picking up and collecting souls and doing whatever. Yes. I'm not that person to get up and AY and pull people together and this who you've been. That's too much. That's tacky.
But here's the thing, though.
But like
men and women.
Whatever, Carlens, whatever. No, there ain't no men and women. You ain't trying to make it different.
There is a balance
you gotta
in
take
the
your
whole
arm to proclaim your truth.
Universe.
Men and women, regardless of the differences in their body, hormones, and reproductive systems, can both experience soul-deafening mind.
I'm not saying nobody's saying.
No. Society and whoever you've been reading with and whoever you've been talking with has told you that it's not possible. I'm not about to hear nothing about how
nobody's saying that it's not possible.
The way that God designed it,
Caroline.
The way God designed it. Is what I'm going back to.
Caroline. The way that God designed it, if you really want to go to the way that God designed it, then we go back to the Bible.
I've been watching porn since you was like 12.
If you want to go back to the way that God designed it, let's go back to. If you want to go back to the way that God designed it.
From the time you woke up in middle school and your bed was wet, you was trying to figure out what to do with that thing. Okay.
Caroline, pay attention.
That is me. From the minute you start talking about men and women,
Caroline, pay attention.
I am paying attention. We're not as different as you keep trying to make it seem.
Caroline, just the same way as you're horny, we're horny, yes. But I have a penis, you have a vagina.
Okay.
That's two different things. Number two, men are very different than women are. Men are physical. We want sex, if not all the time, but also women.
Carlens,
if a woman is not attracted to a...
Are you an alien? Are you from a different planet? Are you a transformer?
Get a headache.
Transformer.
Caroline, did I not say that men want
intimacy with a woman because you a man? Is that what you're telling me?
Caroline.
Is that what no. Are you telling me because you are a man and you are different from a woman?
So just like you asked me to let you finish, let me finish.
Because you've been trying to do men and women the whole time.
Just like you asked me to let you finish, and then Gabriel and Ray stopped me. Let me finish because they didn't stop you. I'm stopping you. Stop for a second.
Maybe, but I would hang up. Ain't no stopping me. I'm trying to figure out what you talking about. Talking some men and women.
So,
like you ain't
capable
of emotion.
All right. Go
Let
ahead,
me
Carlens.
explain.
Go ahead,
explain. Go ahead. I'm waiting for it.
You're sitting there and you're acting. There's intimacy between both men and women. Men and women deal with it differently. Men learn to compartmentalize where they can have multiple women and love all of them at the same time. Women are not. Okay, so here's the thing. If you are a Christian and you want to go to the Bible, if you're not, the Bible explains it. It says it right there. It was there. This is the reason why, at the end of the day, conversations can't go to where they go, because when you now speak logic and you speak the thing that's supposed to be all of all, and nothing can go against it, now it goes to feelings. At the end of the day, men and women are different. Do we have emotional attachments? Yes. Are there men out here who can be monogamous? Yes. I tried that shit. I tried it. To the point that I wasn't messing with nobody. I didn't even have sex or kiss until I was married. I tried it. Now, am I in Anecdote, yes, but can I talk about a lot of males? I can. Where a lot of males have been in situations where they've sat there, they've given their all, they've been this nice guy, and because of a female's nature, they've gotten used, abused, hurt. On the flip side, have women got hurt by men? Yes. Why? Because there are fuck niggas out there who go around hurting other females, lying to them and not telling them the truth. Hey, listen, this is what I'm doing. You either with it or you're not. As opposed to, oh, this is just me and you. We just doing what we doing. And then on the flip side, you fucking with 5 other females. Nobody's saying that there's not men who are on the fuck side. We all know as men, there are men that are there. And guess what? 3 of us on the panel at one point in time, we was probably those niggas. The difference is we don't have to say it every time we have a conversation. What we're trying to find is a solution, and the solution hurts because then feelings get involved when then you want to talk about having a body count because body count matters on both sides. Here's the difference. Oh, female does not want a male who is inexperienced. So if he didn't experience with the one female he was with, he had to go learn from other females. He can learn from her, but she's not going to be that tolerant because she wants it right now. The man, on the other hand, he will take a female who's a virgin and would teach her how to have sex with him so she will be with nobody else. On top of that, females who've had sex with multiple men or other men have the opportunity to go and run to those other men when her feelings get fucked up in her relationship. With men, we ain't really going out to go cheat when we get hurt. We go to the fucking bar. We go to our men. We go smoke. We ain't really going to go cheat with other women. That's what women assume. You know how many? You know how much proof I have of women who sat there and realized, oh, I thought my man was cheating, but he wasn't because he was acting different. But it was because I didn't understand him as a man. The understanding is we don't understand men and women. Gender is important. Just like men don't argue with women, most men don't because they know not to argue with women because women always win. Where's that from? Just like we have women who now think, oh, I can go hit a man because I can just do so and he's not going to hit me back. Bitch, you get knocked the fuck out. I tell my daughters, don't touch nobody. Don't touch nobody. So why should you go do that? It's the same way. You can't now get entitlement because you're a woman. Because guess what? Men, we have to deal with shit regardless. Regardless. There's no entitlement for us. You want your body count? Go do what the fuck you go do. Just don't tell me. And if a dumbass simp asks you, he's a dumbass. Because as men, when we know how many men you slept with, we're going to think in our head, how'd she learn how to do that? How'd she know how to do that? Oh, she not with me? She probably fucking with somebody else. Those are the insecure men. A woman ain't going to ask you how many men were you been with. He's going to assume and think in his head, well, if you have no children, we're just going to multiply 3.
All right, hold on.
If you have children, we're going to multiply by 3. Why? Because at the end of the day, a man who is in his emotions and in his feelings and who literally is literally not focused and logical, and you tell them, oh, I've been with 10 dudes. That's a lot. It's a lot of men. We don't think the same as y'all. Y'all can't think the same as us. You can't expect a man to think the same way a woman thinks when it comes to sex and body count. Women, a lot of women, not you, Caroline, A lot of women do not care about men's body count. If that's the case, you wouldn't see all these men with multiple baby mamas. Regardless of the face you make, there's babies out here. There's baby mamas who are taking care of them babies. We can say men are cool with inexperienced women, but they also go out and get down with freaks. You know why? Here's why. Because a lot of the women that they fuck with are real conservative. I don't do that. I don't do that stuff. So they're gonna go with a freak who's gonna sit there and suck their dick or suck their balls or eat their ass if they ask or suck their toes.
Hey,
That's
yo,
what they're gonna
boy.
ask for. I don't do that
Hey,
shit.
yo.
That's what they're gonna ask for.
Thank God.
Now, if a female doesn't do it and you don't do it, why are you mad that the man is gonna go do something that he wants to go do when in reality you're gonna go do what you want to go do? Because if he doesn't satisfy you, you're gonna go find that dick. Let's stop the cack about all these women who are out here who are married, who are sitting there and who have little dick niggas. Now, mind you, little dicks aren't their fault. It's because God gave it to them. But guess what? A lot of these women out here, let's be real with numbers. 28% of men cheat, 24% of women cheat. Here's the difference.
It's almost neck and neck.
Here's the difference. Women double men. And
So
studies have
you
stopped.
you just out here
And
doing
studies
the
have
work,
proved,
right?
and studies have proved that a lot of women have not decided to give their results due to their husbands or their men finding out, which means 24 could be 28 to 30. So which means we're cheating equally, but you double us. I've been with married women. You can't tell me when they sit there and they say, "Oh well, my man ain't doing enough, or he ain't there like that." But guess what? He's providing, like Will Smith. He's protecting, sort of, like Will Smith. Will Smith is a beta provider. He provides. He sits there, gives her the house, but this nigga was fucking your chick in the house. That's no respect.
But didn't Will have a thing too? Didn't he have a jump off?
Whatever Will had, was it in his house?
I'm pretty. No, you know what? I feel you.
Whatever Will had, did it disrespect anything with his family? Everything that you hear about Will Smith is rumors. There's no facts. I've still been looking for facts. Jada, you have Mark Anthony.
What? What was this?
Oh,
In the
Mark
2000s.
Anthony and J-Lo split because of Jada.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
I never heard that story.
It's like the 2000s.
I heard he was cheated on her with some woman. They never said who.
That's because you can never find out. Even if they had an agreement, here's the difference.
Yeah.
Here's the difference. She went out publicly, walking out with Alcine on red carpets, hugging him, talking to him. That's if you had an agreement. That's a whole disrespect. You literally walking around with this dude.
Yeah.
This ain't your friend no more.
Yeah. Because remember, she said she hadn't felt good in a long time.
And what did he do? He started crying.
Yeah. To that is the ultimate disrespect.
Right.
You should have men and women. So put it like this: men require respect. That's our love. Right. Women's respect is their love. That's equal. That's the balance. If you respect me, I love you. But you can't ask me to love you the way you want me to love you, because I ask respect the way that I'm asking for it, because it's not going to harm you in no way.
Carlens, what you responding to right now? Because all I said 20 minutes ago was that basically summarizing.
It was a whole bunch of shit.
That you proclaiming, anybody proclaiming that they are able to have casual sex and disassociate the emotional aspect that comes with sex.
Prostitutes.
With every person.
Prostitutes.
Not a flex. That's all I said. Whatever you're talking about. I don't even know what you're responding to. That's all I said. That's all I said.
Prostitutes. Okay, so
That's
so
it.
here's
I mean,
here's
if
the
you're gonna
answer.
pay $40 for some pussy, that's on you. But
So the
like, I'm
answer
just
is
saying, like,
so the answer is prostitutes. Because
Sex
guess
work.
what?
Sneaky
but
They
link.
get
everybody
their
you dealing
money,
with is not a prostitute.
they
Sneaky links.
disassociate themselves, but guess what? A lot of these females, without asking for money, are prostituting themselves, whether their bills are getting paid, whether it's an emotional thing that's getting paid, whether it's a conversation. Because you see, here's the thing. Let me give you a conversation. Men and women don't have conversations the same. You see, Gabriel and Ray, we're not gonna have a conversation on the phone every day and talk and ask about our feelings and what's going on like women do. We're not gonna
No,
have those
nobody is talking
conversations.
about that. All I said was men and women need to stop trying to play like they cannot experience intimacy during sex. Whatever you talk, I know y'all ain't talking
We
about.
can experience intimacy. The thing is
That's
that
it.
here's
Thank
the
you. That's
difference.
it. That's all I wanted
No,
you
no,
to
no. But
say.
here's the difference.
That's it.
You're asking a man. No, no,
I'm
no,
not
no, no,
asking
no,
you
no, no, no,
anything.
no.
I'm telling you. I'm
Because you're
asking you
saying to a
anything.
man, "Oh, well, guess what? How come I don't get pleasure when we having sex?"
I didn't ask you
Well,
anything.
no, no, no. What the statement is saying is, if we're having sex, because a man's gonna get his orgasm, right? He's gonna get his nut, but a female doesn't get hers. Well, so how come the man gets his, but she doesn't get hers? Here's the thing. Here's what I explain to all females who fuck with me and my dick. You ready? I am your physical living dildo. Do what you please. Now, understand that your friction and your motion and what's going on might either, and if it's good, it might either make me nut faster, and if it's not, it might make me nut later or make me lie about it, which I don't like to lie about nothing, but it happens just like women lie about nuts all the time.
Wake it up.
So, so
Wake it
in
up.
reality, the sad reality is that when conversations are had between men and women during sex, a lot of if you expect the man to please you, a lot of the women need to be upfront and tell the man, regardless of his feelings, what he needs to do to please her if she's expecting him to please her. You see, if I want a female to please me, I tell you what I want. I want some head. Here's head. Do it this way. No teeth. Do it this way. Lick the balls. Do it that way. I'm telling you what I want. It's not me expecting you and then you don't do it and then now I'm mad and now I'm saying, oh, I didn't get my number because I wanted you to do what you. I'm telling you what I want you to do because I want to go nut. I want to orgasm. And guess what? Regardless if you're going to do it or my hands are going to go do it, I'm going to go get it. So at the end of the day, every female, I'm going to enjoy you and get my orgasm. You should get yours too, because when you're playing with a dildo, that's what you do. The difference is that you expect me in your mind to do some crazy porno shit, which I can do, by the way, but some crazy porno shit that you expect most men to do, and then they can't do it, and then you're like, oh, this man can't satisfy me. Listen, the average Chinese man's penis or Asian man's penis, unfortunately, is like 2 inches. Average. Average white man's penis is 4 inches. Average. Average black man's is 6 inches. Average. Anything above 6 inches is abnormal. Whatever you see in the pornos, them niggas be pumping them pills and be taking that. You ain't really messing with them dudes.
Mhm.
So now you're gonna take a dude who's 6 inches or more, right? Anything that's average or above. Y'all females get off on pinkies. Off your pinky. So please stop playing with these men talking about he can't satisfy you when in all reality you want him to do something in your mind when all you really have to do is be there in yourself. Breathe in and breathe out. I'm teaching you tantric sex, by the way. Breathe in and breathe out. Be there, not in your mind, and you will experience as many orgasms as you please. The problem is that too many people are in their mind, just like men are. Men are in their mind. Too many men are in their mind where they sit there and they're nut too fast.
Sometimes, dude,
They're
underperform.
stressed out. Sometimes dudes underperform and just say sorry, then try to go again, and they are tired. With that, the women tried to get their nut. He was selfish.
Wait. Let me
Go ahead, Ray.
I want to get to that real quick, right?
Go ahead, Ray.
I don't like this thing where we talk about performance because now sex has turned into theatrics. A lot of women want men to be these porn stars that we are not, right?
They ain't doing shit.
They complain that men watch porn, but then they want men to act like porn stars.
But they ain't doing the shit that the porn stars do.
I heard something on Clubhouse a couple days ago, right?
Clubhouse.
Where a woman said that where a woman said that a lot of women watch gay porn to learn how to give head, right? So,
What?
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Yo,
Wait.
wow.
Let's try this again. Gay porn like men.
Yes, men with men.
Okay.
Men with men, right? I also heard
That's
of a
weird.
study where it said that I think it's like 48% of women watch porn or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but it was a large number, right? So we have these songs, and then we have the women in music that say, oh, like Trina, oh, he has to have 11-inch penis. What man is walking around with 11-inch penis?
Right.
And on top of that, right, where we have this thing where it's like, oh, men get shamed, right? What's the first thing a woman says that if a man underperforms? Oh, you little ass nigga, you can't even do X, Y, and Z. You can't do my ass right. And it's like, yo, how is it that you want men to be a provider, right? Be a protector, right? Be emotionally available, right? And be a porn star. That is 4 unpaid jobs, right?
Y'all niggas want that in return from a woman.
Hold on, I'm gonna get to that.
We give you the house.
I'm gonna get to that, right?
You pay for the house and all the bills. Yeah, you should be my hoe.
I'm gonna get to that, right?
Pay for what?
If I pay for all the bills in the house, what? Yeah, you should be my hoe.
I'm gonna get to that.
Wait. And I'm paying the stripper to go dance for me, and she's literally dancing. But I pay for my woman, my wife, for a house.
Hold on, wait.
I literally provide her a house, and I'm going outside. You can't literally suck my dick when I come in.
Wait. I'm gonna get to that. Wait. I'm gonna get to that, right? There are videos of dick riding classes for women. There are no videos or there are no schools of pussy eating classes for men. There are no videos or there are no classes of how to give a girl an orgasm for men. So we have to learn how to do it from porn. The same porn that you guys hate that men watch. But we have to overperform. And it doesn't make sense. Like Caroline said, there's no conversation. But my thing is, I'm going to take it a step further, is that women talk to each other way too much about what they want in sex, and they don't talk to men. You can listen when they have these conversations amongst each other, right? Oh, when they get dick pics, oh, it's this big, it's this small, it's this and this, that. And it's like, bro, you're not talking to us, so we will never know, right?
Did you hear that?
And
Did you hear the air horn? Did you hear the air horn?
No.
Oh man, I gave you an air horn. That was fire right there. Keep going, Ray. You just
all I'm saying is that the same way how women can go amongst each other and say we're not getting orgasms and things like that, men can say it too, because there are videos of men saying, "Oh, we don't get our nut off." I can even say, "Oh, I faked the nut." Would anybody believe me?
A couple times.
No, they wouldn't believe me. But
because Ray, when you're talking amongst your friends, it's a safe space.
I can talk amongst anybody.
No, I'm saying as a woman, because I understand. Okay. Because for like past 20, 30 minutes, it seems like the shit I've been saying been going over people's heads, but whatever. What I'm trying to say is there's no safe space a lot of times for women. Okay. Especially growing up in the church and purity culture. Okay. I'm not a man, I can't speak to y'all's. Y'all's lack of space, safe space, or whatever. But for a woman, my first period ball, I was 16. The next year, I was 17. There were more women. There were more teenage girls than men.
Okay.
And the next year.
Hold on.
The pressure on women to be everything for y'all. From a cultural and a church perspective.
By who? By other women.
The men too.
By other women.
Sir, at this point, I'm not correcting nobody about nothing. I'm telling you where the pressure came from. That's it.
I want to say
it's there. So when you get older and you're like, you know what? I have been prepared. I have been beaten into whatever. And you just trying to make it in the world. and the men out here telling you still not me in the market, at that point, baby, I'll be bad about myself in the house.
I'm gonna say something real
That's
quick.
it.
I'm gonna throw it to Carlin. Hold on.
Because it's not, everybody having this conversation about sex or whatever. And I try to say, like, women's hormones may be the answer or whatever. No, men and women, nobody wanted to hear that answer. And I was like, you know what? At this point, I'm done trying to play with the late 30s and early 40s folk. Because at this point, y'all been single and bitter men and women for years. And I'm not, no. First of all, y'all been dating and fucking since before I was born. I'm not dealing with all of that. Okay, since before Jesus crawled up on that cross. I'm not, no. One of the loneliest things for me right now is being a woman trying to understand the men and women's perspective and trying to bridge the gap. Trying to advocate for men, trying to advocate for men, women at the same time. It's lonely, it's ghetto.
You can't understand men.
I'm not trying to understand you. I'm trying to help make the world better for you. Okay. It's not, no.
Just listen.
No. Because half the time I be listening to you callers and I turn around and it's just like, I'm gonna need some holy water on this brother. That's it.
But now here's the thing though.
No, because I'm on the mic now. For me, it's lonely, okay? It's depressing. Trying to advocate for everybody and trying to understand and be understanding and like, everybody is not out here trying to understand how Caroline feel and what Caroline think. It's like Caroline gotta understand everybody else know. For right now, I'm gonna let it be known. The expectation, the unrealistic expectation is on everybody's part. Everybody got an unrealistic expectation about how sex supposed to go, how it's supposed to feel, and everybody out here watching porn, being fucked up by porn their whole life. It's not just on the women. Because you can communicate with a man and tell him what you want, and he's still not gonna do it. That's it.
And so if that man doesn't do it,
responsibilities on women, we out here talking about amongst our friends and whatever. We do.
If that man doesn't do it, leave him. The problem is that y'all don't leave the situations that y'all are in and then complain about it. But then you can't find other men and the men pay attention.
At this point, that's financial abuse. Where's she going?
What's financial abuse?
If the man paying all the bills, where is she going?
That's true.
She can go find a job, right?
Her job is at the house doing what he asked her to do when they got together.
Right?
She raising his
now,
kids,
so she can do the
cooking
same thing that a man can do.
And
go find a job.
It's called being an adult. The job is at the house. The job is at the house.
Being an adult.
Are you paying somebody to come in the house and do what she's doing? You're not.
I can't. It's called
You're
a maid.
not paying for that.
It's called a maid.
You're
That's
not
why I
paying
said
for
earlier,
that.
if I can get a maid, a prostitute.
Y'all are already together. The implication I'm making is y'all are already together. She's raising and she's had your kids. Y'all are living together. She's doing everything she's supposed to do as a woman. Take care of house. You want her to drop all of her responsibilities and stop taking care of you so she go and work when that was not the agreement y'all agreed on.
Okay, so now let's stop here. Let's stop here. You are acting as if that man has control of his job and where it goes. Let's just say that man is, let's go pre-pandemic. That man is sitting there making $6K, doing everything he's doing. Pandemic hits, his job is lost. He's not looking for other jobs. He can't find it. What now happens? Didn't we say for better or for worse, for sick or for health, for thick and for rich or for poor? So at one point in time, you get on your high horse and we both work until I find something that then puts me back on the map where I first was. The pandemic let everybody know, both rich and poor, you ain't safe. You ain't safe. So if you're expecting this man to go provide and take care of this whole house, of take care of the outside bills, and you're taking the inside, but yet his job is now lost, and he's now looking for a job, but yet in reality, in society now, women and Black women get hired more, definitely like Goldman Sachs, which gave women $10 billion, not men, women. So women, who are they now focused on? Because they asked for it. The women. You've asked for it, now you've gotten it. But the men are still doing the jobs that they're still doing because women ain't gonna do it and nobody's paying them extra. There's no women running to go do FedEx jobs. There's no women running to go do Home Depot jobs. There's no women running to go do electrical jobs. So please stop with the cap because what you're doing at home, what you're really doing at home, what you're really washing clothes. So the clothes are in the laundry, and you could watch TV. You could be talking with your friends. It takes you a half an hour to fold, maybe an hour, if there's that much clothes. Cooking, it takes you what? Half an hour to an hour? That's 2 hours already. Let's talk about cleaning the house. Cleaning the house, it depends on how big your house is, whether it's from a half an hour to an hour. That's 3 hours of an 8-hour day that your husband is outside, sitting there, battling the everything. And if he's a black man, the whole world.
All right, I got to stop here. I got to stop.
Wait.
No. I got to cut this. No.
Wait. Now let's talk about the children who are at school for 8 hours. If they're not babies. And if there are babies, what do people do? They send them off to daycare. Even if they're at home all day.
You know, returning to work
we gotta
3 months after I had a baby,
C-section,
I know that's fucked up. I know that's fucked up. I'd rather us be in Canada.
Contributing to my household because, you know, I had that partner team mindset. Was difficult. Leaving my baby, you know, struggling with postpartum depression every day.
It's not difficult for a man?
To support the home team.
Is it not difficult for a man? Does a man not want to be there for his children when they are first born and since they are babies?
It was stressful for both of us.
Okay.
But me as the woman that was cut open, sliced and diced. Every day I wake up. What question do you want
me to answer?
It's difficult.
What question do you want me to answer?
I don't know what point of view or reference you're speaking from, or what experiences have led you to this point of view. I know for my household, when it was time for me to go back to work, I cried. I'm a working woman. My resume is long. I work. I didn't pursue graduate school because I had a responsibility to my household. So when you talk about let's stop the cap and all of that, I can't speak to your life experiences, but as the caliber of woman I am, I handle my business. I'm emotional now because I don't even know what you're talking about.
But you don't act like there's men.
No.
You don't act like there's men who don't care about their kids and who don't sit there and work for their kids too, who don't have postpartum depression because of their kids.
Both of us in this house, the man upstairs and myself, together, team effort. But that man upstairs may be going through his mental health struggles, his roles at his reflection on his capacities and responsibilities in this house.
And do you care for those?
I do.
So then what's
but me. But this time in my life, I have to, if I'm not taking care of myself, I'm not good for anybody else. I can't.
Okay. I got you. So hold on. So let's go to.
But I'm not done though. I'm not good for anybody else.
Let her finish.
I'm gonna let her finish.
It is completely unimaginable. Because I sat here and I listened to you talk. And I was like, don't be that typical woman to like walk off and hang up. But I'm emotional right now. I am existing in my, like, you can say whatever you want about a woman being emotional. I am emotional right now. Because a woman can do everything. She can risk her life to bring the child into the world. She could work full time and come home and bust her ass doing everything around the house. And it seems like in these modern times, it will never be enough. It will never be enough. 5 months postpartum, working every day, dealing with customers, worrying about my baby. My baby's sick. I gotta wake up in the middle of the night. Me doing what I gotta do to make sure he okay, but but sometimes it ends up feeling like neglecting myself. But I'm the one recovering from having a baby. And as a woman talking to another man, it's not enough. I gave him a legacy because I had a son, somebody to carry on his name. I was in labor for 30 plus hours.
Yeah, men can't do that.
And I almost died. But because I'm mentioning like the woman's contribution in the home as a homemaker is important, you asking me how much time she's spending doing laundry? If anybody got to stop the cat got to be stopped on that. Because if the agreement between those two people was for her to be Susie the homemaker, then that's what Susie homemaker's responsibilities are.
Yeah. Okay,
if
so
you
let's
can
be
hire
real.
somebody to do it, you should have left Susie homemaker at Susie mama house.
But here's the thing: there is proof. There is proof that
that's
men
do
more of the home duties than the women do in marriages.
You can minimize the
there is
contribution of the
proof
woman
that the women that the men do more duties than the women do.
Man.
You don't cook.
That's it. But what you not gonna do here? You can call my name what you want to. I have friends who are homemakers. The minimization of their contributions in their homes is not okay. It's not okay. Regardless of what you've been through.
That's anecdotal. That's anecdotal compared to actual proof.
I'm existing in reality.
That says that men are doing more of the costly duties than women are.
But minimizing the woman's contribution, no.
There are men doing most of the duties than the women are. In marriages, we're not talking about sneaky links. We're not talking about people just fucking each other. We're talking about marriages. In marriages, there is proof that men are doing most of the duties than women are. You even said you don't cook. So let's be real. Let's be real. At the end of the day, yes, we do not negate the fact that you have had a child. That is not, we can't do that. So you can't put that on us. We can't feel that for you. What we can do for you is give you a better life. What we can do for you is provide you the house, provide you the safety for you and your children. That's what we can do for you because we cannot give children ourselves. So that is the balance that we have to give you as a woman.
10 years
and
ago,
as a man, you can't sit there and sit there and there's proof that there are men. You just sat there, just like Cardi B said, there are men. I'm listening, and there are statistics and proof. If you want me to put it, I will put it up in front of you. I do not speak on anecdotals. I do not even speak on personal unless I say, hey, this is personal. So I'm speaking on literally statistics, proof. There is proof that is shown that men are doing most of the work in the house than women are when they're married. You have even Cardi B coming out sitting there saying, I don't cook, I don't clean, but I got this ring. Well, okay. But then at the same time, you want men to sit there and be traditional. You want to talk about a balance? You have women going to work sitting there saying that they outwork men, yet you are not doing the same jobs, even though you can. Majority of you won't do it. Okay. There are some women who will, but majority of you won't. We are not talking about the outliers in the group. We are talking about the majority, and the majority goes this way. Hold on. Let's go to, because this person, A student, is on fire right now. No, because that was the person who started it. Hold on.
Yeah, but hold on.
He said, get a job. He has control of the finances. She can't leave. We're in a state right now, right, where women are saying that they're independent. They can do what they want. They can go get their jobs. She chose to be a housewife, right? That's what she chose in the agreement between the husband and the wife. Let's say he or she is not filling the agreement. I have never seen a man sit there and say he has left a perfect woman. Never. Never. So in that instance, that means that she had something to do in that relationship. And in that sense, what is in her role? Accountability. We're not talking about that today. You want to talk about crossing lines? I'm talking about accountability on all ends. That's the whole thing I've been talking about tonight. I know a man who is in the same situation. His wife is working, she is abusing him. He cannot leave. Yeah, he cannot leave because he is not the man. He can leave if he wants to. He chooses not to. He could be homeless. He could be out in the street. He's not a man. I'm gonna tell you something. Let me be real. Let me make it anecdotal now. I got divorced 3 years ago. When I got divorced, I had my apartment. I lost my apartment because unfortunately the roommate that I was with decided not to pay rent. So now I live in Georgia. My mother asked me and said, everybody in New York, my cousin Greg, my mom, everybody, Carlens, please come back home. Please come back home. I said, I'd rather live in my car because my daughters are here. They come back. Right. The first thing my mother said, I respect you for that. Ain't no other bitch can't tell me shit after my mother said that. So guess what?
Much respect to you.
From then on, me living in a car, me getting my apartment, me doing all these things, that was man shit. I didn't want to live with no female. If I lived with her, it was for a moment, and then I got my apartment, which I'm in. Simps, which Caroline is mostly talking about, and which this conversation is mostly talking about, are the men who are going to sit there and want to live under women. I don't respect those men. You need to upgrade your motherfucking self.
True, fact.
So there is no way that a female is going to respect you for living with her and her paying the bills, and then at one point she's going to respect you as a man. That shit sounds dumb to her too.
All right,
now let's move on. The upgrade is saying for her to get a job and leave the man if she isn't happy when she has spent a lifetime not developing marketable skills as being a wife and a homemaker.
Right. Can I cut in real quick?
Go ahead.
I got to 11, and then after that, I got to cut it because.
All right.
Go ahead, my guy.
All right, cool. So the problem with some of this conversation and this rhetoric is that a lot of men are trying to make women into men. Like have their thought process into men, have what their mindset is into men, and that's the problem. So Caroline,
you don't have to just understand it. You don't even have to understand it. Just
hold on. Caroline gave an example of her being postpartum, not postpartum, but she's emotional, right? That's a part of femininity, regardless of how you may feel about it, right? So her being emotional is part of femininity. Her saying that what a woman does within the household is important. You said that you can get a maid, you can get a porn star, and you can get something else. I don't remember, right? Those things are intangible in the long term because if you're paying somebody for those services, once you don't have that job, you can't get that stuff. You can't.
Facts. But guess what? Don't women pay for maids?
Wait.
Ray, finish.
Wait.
So go ahead, Ray. I just want to say that.
So you can't get those things. And the fact that we're having these conversations and we're totally devaluing women based off of her emotion.
I'm not devaluing women for emotion. Please don't do that.
Hold on. I'm going here for a reason. I'm not saying you. I'm saying that I hear this a lot with the certain spaces.
Oh, okay.
Right? And that's why the girl said, or somebody said, it comes from a red pill, blue pill talking point, because that's exactly what it is. Right? Now, her being emotional and saying that, she had her son and the man upstairs and everything like that, right? That's a part of it. And this is the problem. We're trying to separate and deviate, right? You're saying that, the man works harder. Yes, in the Bible, it says by the sweat of your brow. So you have to work harder, right? We can't keep comparing men and women because they will never be the same.
Right, but I don't want to. But when that's addressed... But
hold on, wait. You had your monologue. They're supposed to work together, right? There are things that women can do and there are things that men can do. They work together. They're not supposed to be in competition. And in the Black community, we have this competition thing where it's like, oh, men are doing this and women are doing that, and men can do this and women can do that. No. Your own mother just said your own mother said that she respects you as a man because you're standing on your own 2 feet.
But watch this though. But
no, hold on.
No. But you see, you don't understand the whole context of me standing on my feet. But that same woman 18 years ago told me to not take care of my son and just pay child support. So you have to understand.
That's just an outlier. That doesn't.
No. Because that's a lot of mothers out here.
I get that part. I understand that part. But what I'm saying overall is that when we have these discussions and we're trying, in the beginning, we established that men and women need to talk to each other instead of against each other, right? Isn't that what we established?
Yes, but no.
Yes,
but
that's exactly it. You had a woman here that's emotional about the conversation, right? And you're saying that we need to deal in logic and we need to deal with logic. That's not going to work.
Why do I have to, hey student? Why do I have to mention anything about my family from before?
You mentioned anecdotals. That's why she brought it up.
Right, but the only reason why I mentioned anecdotals is only because anecdotals were then mentioned. So let's go back to the whole we and I. Caroline was talking we, and then it was mostly I. I am my husband. I am my husband. I won't do this. I am my husband.
No, not
watch this. Watch. Stop. Watch this. No. I don't negate her feelings. I never negated her feelings as a woman. I never negated Caroline's feelings. The first thing I asked her though was,
let's ask
does she understand her husband's feelings?
But
That's all I asked her.
Let's ask her. She's here. Let's ask her.
We got to wrap this thing up. So we got like 5 minutes left. I want to hear from Caroline, then Ray, and then Carlens. Caroline,
do you think that I negated your feelings or what you said?
Your conversation and responses to me prove the point that I said when I said that trying to understand both sides is an isolated experience. I don't know what happened to you, who you done dealt with, whose wife you done did whatever with.
That has nothing to do
with it. No, it has something to do with it because you brought it up. So I'm bringing it back to where I'm at. I sat here and in my head, I was like, let me try to be real understanding, real cool. But from the minute you minimized a woman's contribution, I was like,
I didn't minimize her contribution.
You said that you can fold clothes.
That's because the first thing I said was that women are saying to men that they don't work as hard as women. So then I said, if you're going to compare, so for instance,
I don't know who you encountering who don't work as hard. I work hard.
I know you work hard.
Y'all go ahead, wrap up. I work hard every day,
Caroline.
And I got friends.
You have women out here
friends working hard every day through everything to take care of their men, their home. Just on the internet today, I was telling folks to go ahead, shout out their Black men and celebrate them because they deserve it. But it's cool. We not working hard.
But here's the reality: are they risking their lives though, as men are? I'm not negating that.
Carlens.
But are you realizing what men are doing? I'm not negating your feelings. I love your feelings.
Caroline,
are you negating men?
Caroline plays the understanding person every day. For one time, she just wanted somebody to hear her. But Gabriel, go ahead, you wrap it up. Because Caroline is done for the night.
Caroline, I heard you the whole night. I never negated your feelings. I never negated what you said. The first thing I asked you was, after you said what you said and made it anecdotal, I asked you and said, hey, do you understand your husband's feelings too? Because I don't want to make it separate. I want to make it a connection. I never wanted to make this conversation separate. Never. But if we're going to keep on talking about women's point of views, and then Ray keeps on comes in and talks about, oh, well, women's point of views are not being heard. What about the men? We are the ones that are killing ourselves every day at the highest majority. Nobody's being heard. Where's that? Where is that? That's my issue today. That's my point. Y'all have been heard. Y'all have platforms. Y'all have shows all day.
This is a disrespectful comment. Yo, this is wild. This is the first time I've seen a male act like a modern woman.
It's okay. You know why? Here's why. Because I'm actually acting like a man, and I'm not sitting there conforming to what's being said, and I'm actually speaking for men who are literally killing themselves every day. That's not even a point to her. It's not even a point to her that men are killing themselves every day. That's wild to me.
True.
Men are killing themselves, but the comment you make is that I'm acting like a modern woman, but men are killing themselves because they're not even being heard. And all I ask Caroline is if she's literally listening or feeling what her husband's feeling, because at one point when you heard her, what she said is as if she negated her husband's feelings for herself. And I didn't say nothing.
Well, hold on. Let me say something. What we have to understand is that when a woman has just given birth, yeah, she's going to be dealing with postpartum depression. There are a lot of things emotionally, mentally, and physically that she's feeling, and it's not that she's trying to negate her husband's feelings, but it's just she at that point, right? Some women are trapped in their own darkness. Like, postpartum depression is no joke. It takes some women a while to bounce out of it because now you're a new mother, you have anxiety, you're worried about a lot of different things. So it's not that she's trying to negate her husband's feelings, it's just that she's dealing with pain also as well.
I've dealt with that. I've actually tried to help my ex with that. I don't negate postpartum. To be honest with you, I actually was trying to help.
I know
That's
you
not the
mentioned that earlier.
issue.
I know you had mentioned it earlier, but I was just
That's not
saying that
the
that's what
issue.
she was trying to. That was the message that Caroline was trying to convey, But also at the same time, even while dealing with that, she's going out every day. She knows women that are working just as hard. You know what I mean? Like
And then and
we have some women that don't work at all and expect like a man to just do everything. But then there's certain types of situations where a man promised a woman like, "Yo, I'm gonna take care of you. You can be the socialite that you want. Stay at home, raise the kids. I'll give you money anytime you need it. You can drive the car."
Sims.
And there's some dudes that do that. I heard of a story on Dr. Phil. A guy got married to a woman. They were living in upstate New York. She could drive the finest car. She was a part of the best clubs. He was a lawyer, right, making X amount of money. All of a sudden, he decided that he wasn't being fulfilled. So you know what he did? He quit his job, and then he decided to run a marijuana dispensary where he started bringing in X amount of dollars. She decided, yo, I don't like that because this is not the life that he promised me. She ended up gaining a lot of weight, and then she moved to her parents' house where she doesn't work. She just chills in the crib. So you have some people that put themselves in certain situations. But for the woman that decides, like, I'm going to go out and work, I don't need my man's money. I know he'll help me from time to time, but I want to earn my coins. You got two different types of women. Some women that, if a man says, I'm going to take care of you and you can live the lifestyle that you want without having to work, that's one type of woman. And then there's the other type that has a degree, has everything together, and she's going to work. So we got different types of women. We can't classify, just like the same way we can't classify men and put them all together, because there was
That's why
something
you
like Ray has, because there's something that Ray had said earlier, how women said, as a collective, but when we talk about men, we'll be like, yo, that man over there. So we got to be careful in that regard. But I'm gonna give. All right, Carlens, I'll let you speak, and then I'm gonna give Ray the last word, and then we got to wrap this up.
Number one, I didn't want to negate anybody's feelings. I didn't want to even negate anything that anybody does. Reality is, I've spoke to majority of women who sit there and say that women work harder than men, but yet don't do the jobs that men do, that men die from. Skyscrapers, uh, 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 fishermen, electricians. Do you work? Yes. Am I saying you don't work hard? I'm not saying you do not work hard, but the comparison comes mostly from women, not from men. Men ain't walking around talking about I work harder than you. So if this conversation has to have a solution, the solution comes from women should stop coming to men talking about, oh, we work harder than you, or oh, we can do what you do. If you want to talk about the balance, there's a balance. There's things that men can do, there's things that women can do. Let us have that balance.
Oh, let me say one thing. So you don't think that all right, so you don't think that there haven't ever been women that go up on telephone poles or do other stuff? Like we may not see it, but there are some women that actually do the
Are
same.
you going to see a pregnant woman
Now I'm not talking about
go on a pole? Right.
I'm not talking about
So,
boss. I'm not talking about a pregnant woman.
are you going to see a mother?
Man.
Are you going to see a mother go on a pole?
You never know.
Are you going to see? The only reason why she's on that pole is because she's desperate and she has no money. I talked about the economy earlier.
Mm-hmm.
All this is about money. So when the black man is not making enough money as the black woman is making, there's an issue.
Right. Hold on.
Stripper pole is real. I haven't even been to a strip club yet.
A student. We're not talking about a stripper. What's wrong? Hold on.
I don't know. A student is hilarious today.
Yeah.
This is all over the place. At the end of the day, there are things that men and women do that are a balance and that complement each other. The way that a woman nurtures and carries the home, that's the same way that a man is outside doing his job. But when a woman comes and says, "Oh, well, I'm working as hard as you, and I go home to do this," well, then I can show you statistics that show you that men are doing that, and that it's just anecdotal compared to the statistics that show that most of the men are doing what women are doing.
All right, hold on. What about the women that own multiple real estate properties that have mad businesses? And that's a lot of hard work to have.
So you ready?
And you have, huh?
So watch this. Real estate. You tell a person. I went into real estate. The reason why I left real estate was because we're lying to people. You have a 30-year mortgage. Right. You think you're paying 25,000 or 30,000.
Right.
You're paying double, triple that by the end. People know how to deal with your emotions and your feelings. So they go and they say, "Oh, you're better paying off this house than paying off this rent." I'd rather pay rent than pay on a mortgage. Y'all are what? These rich people are talking about these. I think the upgrade is talking about physically challenging work.
He is.
Physically challenging work, men aren't getting paid enough. Men are getting paid enough. But like these are the men
forklifts,
that women are looking for. These are the men these are the men that are going out for these women. The forklifters, the ones that are working in the warehouses, the electrician. Oh, you don't make enough. Nah, you ain't good for me.
I know a few women.
How is that so? But mind you, because of me, you get electricity.
Right.
Because of me, your garbage gets dumped. Because of me, you get a package. But you don't respect me because the dollar amount that I get in the bank is an issue. When, mind you, 60 years ago, that was not the issue.
Okay.
A lot of women want chocolate-covered white men. It's about the money. If you want the money, if you want chocolate-covered white men and Asian and German, whatever it is.
I'm gonna go there.
Because at the end of the day, if you look at it, who are the ones who are doing the gritty work besides the Mexicans? Black men.
Right. Hold on. All right. So we got to wrap this up. Ray, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but it's soon it'll be midnight. So I want Ray to say his point, and then we'll wrap up. But I do want to do a part 2 in October, maybe the second or the third week. But Ray, go ahead. Make your point.
Do the third.
I'll make my point.
Third week.
So yeah,
I have a live session on the second week.
So would the third week be good for you?
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
We can discuss this afterwards. All right, cool. Go ahead. All right, cool. So to wrap up this whole conversation, right? I think that there are roles that men and women play. I know we like to talk about not having gender roles and not having parts to play and such, but there are gender roles that exist for a reason, right? In regards to like modern women and all that other stuff, listen, right? There are traditional people and then there are modern people. And then there are people who are a balance of both, right? What will work back then may not work now because of the climate, but
right.
There are things, there are outliers, there are statistics, there are outcomes that will work in certain scenarios, right? In regards to where it comes to like men and women's feelings and things of that nature, right? there has to come a point where we're not talking about each other, but we're talking to each other, right? There's all this podcasting and statistics, which are opinion based because you're filling out a survey, right? Yes, they're opinion based because you're filling out a
go
survey,
ahead.
right? We're still opinion based on a lot of things, right? We can't diminish one side and then uplift another side. There has to be balance with both. And to the point of chocolate covered white men, I wasn't going to say it, but there are divestors, which are opposite of manosphere folk or whatever, but that will be for another day. And that's my point.
Yeah. All right. So I want to thank my guests, Caroline A. Ray. Caroline A. Ray, and the Upgrade for joining me on the first episode of Meeting of the Minds podcast. You guys will be able to watch this later on. If you didn't get a chance to see it live, it'll be on my YouTube channels and other Facebook pages. Also, I hope everybody's watching this on Twitter because it's live there also as well. All right, so guys, I want to thank you, and we will reconvene next month. All right, y'all take care. Peace.